As I suspected, 32 flavors.
Try the sauce. I'm soaked in it.
Oh, I could lick you all day long.
It's true. I could. If that was a walking bang of barbecue sauce, I could. It's just the facts of life. How you all doing, everyone? Welcome to Toxic Tuesday, episode number 38. How's everyone doing tonight? It's Tuesday night. I know there's no me tonight, so hopefully this will be a nice, substitute of sorts. I know some of you were at United Resistance earlier as well. See Vince Womack, how you doing? Brian Barth, what's up? Dr. Dragon, Boosh McFadden, the King Foodie of the Gilded. Yes, I have the Gilded. Get on Gilded, guys. Put Metallicus the first. Cody Guy, Dragon Master 360, D. Bud Martin, Rabbit. It's a whale wabbit. I see here. The lovely Sherry. How you doing, Sherry? Welcome here. Thank you. And that was it for now. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to Toxic Tuesday. We're bringing our panelists here. Basically, he's the guy who makes this visual happen. You know him. And you are in love with the man that is Mark D with a C.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Yeah, I like that. Nice intro. Yep, I didn't pay extra for that, but appreciate that. Yeah. So we got one of the classics tonight. So looking forward to that. Oh, I didn't bring my baby Roos. I didn't buy any baby Roos for tonight. So.
I had forgotten about it. I totally forgot about it. I've had such a crazy week. I'm like, no, I forgot about my baby Ruth. I was
almost going to go to the store and buy some. I had to get the slideshow ready. So. Gonna text my wife. Can you stop by the store and get some baby Ruths? Why?
It really do be like that, Mark. It really do. As always, sir, I'm glad seems like you're doing okay. How's your day been?
Yep. Very good. Yep. Not a bad day. Yep. So, always looking forward to this. This is the highlight of the day, though, right? Toxic.
Yes.
Hanging out with you guys at Toxic Tuesday. So,
yeah,
we got all-time classic, classic movies. So, I didn't go outside to play any golf today, though. But, yep. Maybe next
okay.
Week, yeah.
I suck at golf, but let's roll here. What's up, Philbo Baggins? All right. Well, Mark. Hey, the man himself, the almighty wrench of wrenches, Eric K. How you doing? Well, Mark, shall we bring in our other boys here?
Yeah, awesome. Yep.
Another king of the wrenches here. He is the Red Shirt.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hey, Red Shirt.
I'm here to talk about Caddyshack, which is nice.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. What's going on, dude?
Oh, man. No, I just finished watching this movie about a half an hour ago.
Nice.
Rewatching it. So it'd be nice and fresh in my mind.
Oh, good. Beautiful. Yeah. I like it. How's your week been, Red Shit?
Oh, man, it's been busy. It has been busy. But because I'm holding down the fort here all by myself. Mrs. Red Shirt is off in California. And oh, yeah. That just means I got to have as much to do every day. So,
wow!
Make sure the house is looking good when she gets back.
I got to make sure. I got to get that vacuum charged up.
Empty the dishwasher. All that stuff. I came back home and that place the sink is the dishes.
First, I got to empty the dishwasher. Then I got to empty the sink dishes into the dishwasher.
The trick is to screw up the laundry though when you do it, so you never have to do it again. You put the.
I have no idea. I have no. You need an engineering master's degree to use the washer and dryer in this house that we're here when we bought the house. I have no idea how to. I'm not even sure how to open it. It's that complicated. I'm like, geez.
All right. Well, you save your dishwasher issues for your home issues, sir. Red Shirt. You save that stuff for home. We're here tonight to be toxic with the boys on the panel and all who are within the chat. Shout out to Christian Delorme. How you doing? We also got some guys in the back as well. But Richard, glad you could return and join us, by the way. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, absolutely. And then, of course, another mainstay of the Toxic Tuesday, Gary, the co-host of the Pop Culture Minefield. He has a really odd look. So if you guys
I'm gay for this show.
Hey
guys, looking good.
Thanks. You look kind of hot too.
You looking
Were you on the
amazing.
Mouse Club? Were you on the Mickey Mouse Club?
No.
No.
No,
You
sadly.
never knew Annette Funicello?
I have my doubts, though, that Just Another Red Shirt is actually a red shirt because he's still alive.
Yeah, but you see, I work in engineering, not in security.
Okay.
That's my line too. Whenever I wear the
I
red
never
shirt.
go on away missions.
Yeah, I never go on away missions. No.
Well, sir,
So we know the lovely Sherry's here. And I
she
told her
is.
she's my secret crush.
Oh, she must be so flattered. But see, she didn't come here to be the crush. She came here to see a bunch of toxic men talk a toxic movie. So you could save your crush for later, Gary. Okay, you got me.
Yeah, I got that going for me.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, debuting on here on Toxic Tuesday for his first time. You see him around here. He's trying to get around like a filthy whore. He's not as clean as he was starting out, but he's starting to get some dirt on him because of the hoariness that's getting around him. And he was yelling at park cars with us last night. And he's a man of great conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you the Brahma Bull. Your mic
And
is
he's
off.
muted.
Oh, and he's muted.
I've never done that
muted.
before.
Yep.
He boomered.
Gotta love that stupid button. Yeah. Cheers. I'm getting around. I'm whoring myself out. It's fun.
You fucking whore.
I'm so excited for this movie. We spent all of my high school days quoting this movie over and over and over. So
Yep.
I spent all day working on my Carl Spackler. So yeah, we got that going for us, which is nice.
It's nice.
Very good.
Yes.
Goongla.
Goongla.
All right. Also, I see Darius Munchausen. What's up, Darius? I see you there, and I see
Oh, hey,
Brian.
Darius.
Yeah, welcome, sir. And Mr. Bryant here said, did you know Caddyshack had radically changed during production to the onset improvisation? I did.
Yep.
I did. And we will talk about all things Caddyshack. So for me, Rodney Dangerfield, I don't want to say he was a late bloomer, but he was a high school when I got into Dangerfield. Of course, I'd known about Murray, I'd known about Ramus, but then I heard about Caddyshack and all the kids in school, hey, you watch Caddyshack. I was like, oh, what's this Caddyshack? And I'm like, oh, this guy's great. And dude, Rodney Dangerfield tripped me out when I saw his bulging eyes. I'm like, man, that guy looks like his eyes are about to freaking fly out of his head. So anytime I think about Rodney Dangerfield, I just think about his eyes are just going to like pop. Like seriously, like those things are like weapons. I swear. But that man's energy, especially like when he started late into comedy, and he has the amazing energy, and it translates into this movie. And even though he's not the main star because Chevy Chase gets top billing, for me, Rodney Dangerfield obviously maybe steals the show, but that's not to take away from the great Ted Knight or the absolutely ridiculously amazing subplot of Bill Murray's Carl against the Gopher. You want to talk about a subplot, dude. This shit is so ridiculous. I'm like, it's almost kind of prophetic if you think about it, because even though it's a gopher, like this was way before Bill Murray did Groundhog Day even. So that, and I had actually seen Groundhog Day first, so this kind of like tripped me out that here I see Bill Murray.
Oh, you hadn't seen Caddyshack? Right.
Well, this is such a nod to the classic Bugs Bunny Elmer Fudd thing.
Oh yes, yeah.
And this was an afterthought.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be in the movie at all.
Bill Murray wasn't supposed to be in the movie at all. He just showed up and was offered a part and ad-libbed 99% of what he did. And they were trying to edit the shots they had, and it wasn't working. They couldn't make a coherent story out of just the caddy tournament. So they decided to say we're going to have Bill Murray do battle with a pest or a varmint or something. What? And then somebody came up with that mechanical gopher.
Yep.
That's really silly puppet. And they went, hey, that'll work. We could just whenever we got a hold of the plot, we'll just show Carl trying to get this gopher. So it's what filled out the movie so that they could take it back to the studio, because the studio. I mean, they did a lot of coke on this movie.
Oh, no doubt.
And the budget for this movie was off the charts, and the studio was basically, the studio executive was calling the producer of this like on a daily basis after a while, like, when are you going to have a movie? When are you going to have a movie? It's so, there's a lot to this.
There's a lot of concern with this movie, Richard, considering this was Ramis's directorial debut, and they didn't really have much of like something to test off this, because golf wasn't known for being like a big sports movie the way like a baseball movie or a football movie was. Like, golf was a little bit of an outsider at this point in time.
Yeah. And I mean, you basically have the National Lampoon crew producing this movie.
Douglas Kennedy, yeah.
Well, they come right off of Animal House for this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Ramis and Doug Kennedy actually got anything for this movie, was because Animal House had just been a hit.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And a few people from Animal House were in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I want to point out that was my childhood with 7 siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Catholic.
Wow.
Irish Catholic, huge family.
I thought there were like 13 kids. How many kids were? Does anyone know what the trivia is? How many kids were in that house?
It's actually based on the Murrays, because Brian Doyle Murray was one of the people that was involved in writing the script, and they had 9 kids in the Murray family. That's also how Bill ended up, kind of getting into the movie, was because Brian was
already there. Yep.
Yeah, and Ed Murray, the oldest brother, was actually who Noonan is based off of, because he was a caddy and did win the caddy championship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was a caddy too, by the way.
Right, yep.
I
was a caddy.
Ollie North.
Oh,
I once caddied
wow.
for him.
I caddied, and I wouldn't wear my glasses because I was so self-conscious back then. There were no contacts. The guy would lose all the balls. I didn't last long as a caddy.
Mark, I could actually see you being a caddy. I could actually see it. You got the hat. You got the right hat too. You look like you would rock a good golf shirt. I'm just saying, like, I mean, like, genuinely
I couldn't see where shit though. So it's like I was losing balls left and right. Yeah.
Oh god. The Mighty Wrench, Eric K. for $3 says, you need to see Rodney in Back to School. I have seen Rodney in Back to School. Thank you, Eric K, for the $3. Maybe one day that might be I might have to be a Toxic Tuesday contender someday. I'm glad you brought that.
We got to practice our triple Lindy's.
Oh, oh my god. So, and another one I had seen once again prior to I had seen Groundhog Day first. I had seen also National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So like I was like, oh hey, look at all these recognizable faces. So you got Bill Murray, you got Chevy Chase. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And also I'm like, who's this kid here? Who's this freaking Danny kid and his college ambition?
Yeah, it costs like $8,000 a year, right? And I love it when
Nebraska.
He says, he's like, I'm gonna end up work at the lumber yard. He's like, well, I own 2 of them, but never been there.
Yeah, I don't see you there very often.
Yeah. What's wrong with the lumber yard? I own 2 of them. Yeah.
Oh, what do you got, Red Shirt?
I just found this tonight and it blew my mind. I didn't recognize Cindy Morgan from any other movie. She's the actress who played Lacey Underalls. That's her in Tron.
Oh, she's in Tron?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh.
She's in Tron and Tron 2.0.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think I'd ever seen her in another movie. And then I looked up and I saw her I said, wait a minute, she was in Tron? And I started looking for images. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, she's cute in there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, she was gorgeous in her day.
Yeah. But she looks cute even as a computer graphic, yeah.
Yeah. And she never bumped into things in the dark because her lights were always on.
Yeah.
But I'm pumped.
Yep.
Well, thanks for that share, Richard.
Yeah.
That was
I
a
just
nice
thought that was
discovery.
cool. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Good
Oh.
catch.
Wow.
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 I love how Chase is. He just feels like Danny could just do this and like, come on, Danny, come on.
Be the ball.
Be
Be the ball, Danny.
Okay, you're talking. I need you.
I also like the backstory about the fight between Bill Murray and Chevy Chase.
Oh,
Yeah.
And how
major-
Harold
was that on
Ramis,
Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, go
and
on.
When
Harold
About
Chevy came
Ramis
back to
got
host.
them onto one of the golf carts and just drove insanely in order to get them to chill the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, I know Cindy Morgan belted Chevy Chase during this production.
Yep. And there's actually a scene that's filmed where they're doing the tequila shots
Yep.
that she didn't know was being filmed when they were doing it. You can actually see on her face when she realizes that the camera's on, and she is not happy.
Not happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Oh, I did not.
But Chevy
know
was
that.
fighting with Brian Doyle Murray, you said, or
With Bill.
Bill Murray?
With Bill.
Bill Murray. Yeah.
When he came back to host SNL, they got into an actual physical fight backstage.
And you
Because
know that Bill
Chevy
Murray,
left as the star, and Bill had come
Yeah.
in like the next year.
Bill was a
and-
fighter, so
Yeah.
Chevy
Chicago
didn't chance
kid.
with him. Yeah,
So it wasn't a slap; it was actual punches.
yeah. He's not Will Smith. He's fucking.
Yeah.
No.
Irish
I think that was a lot
Chicago
more
kid.
serious than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
I know.
is where real men were fighting.
Yeah, I did. I did also
and Chevy.
hear. I did also hear that Harold Ramis had to use all of his diplomatic skills to get Murray and Chase into Carl's apartment to do one scene together, because
Yeah.
Bill Murray did not want to even be on camera
it's so
at
funny
the same
'cause-
time.
Chase and Murray made up later.
Yes.
But Ramis and Murray didn't until
Oh my God,
Ramis
this
was
scene.
basically dead.
Oh God, where he's,
yeah.
oh my God,
God
on
bless
the
Ted
golf
Knight.
ball scrubber.
Oh, Smales.
Look at you
Don't you
jerking off.
Smales?
Yes. This was easily Ted Knight's far and away best comic role ever.
Yeah.
Dude.
And he hated being on there because the whole crew was partying the whole time, and he had come from being
was a
like in
pro.
actual
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, he was
also
on the Mary
What was it?
Tyler Moore
Mary
show.
Tyler Moore, yeah.
He also
Yeah.
had to be the serious character, so that's not as fun when everyone else is partying.
Yeah, the straight
And
guy.
he has to
yeah.
be the character that has to be freaking super stoic and not fun. Yeah, I'd probably be driving crazy too. I'm like, God
Yeah.
damn it. Ugh.
Yeah. And he had to play an asshole. He's the funniest asshole
Yeah, I
I've
need
ever
you to
seen
go
in a
kill
movie.
the-
Yeah.
Kill the gopher.
Yeah.
Check me on this, but if we kill all the golfers, they'll lock me up and put away the key.
You threw away the key, eh?
The golfers! The fat little brown fatty animals! Oh, yeah, we can kill them. We don't even need permission. A reason. We don't even need a reason.
Sucks.
Oh, I got Booch. Hey, what's up, Six? How you doing? Thank you for dropping in here. No, man, seriously, Bill Murray as Carl is like the super derpiest character. I remember when I first saw his scene, I thought he was like jerking off, and he's like, he was just like intensely, he's like sweaty because look at all that sweat. You just where he's like having like a like jerk fest.
But you know what? That scene right there to me smacks of Bill Murray going, "Hey, I've got an idea. You get the camera over there with the hedge between me and the camera, and I'll use the ball washer here, and just have a
I gotta
couple of
wash my
ladies.
balls."
Yeah, I'm going to wash my balls. Have a couple of ladies walk by the scene, and behind me, and then you can just shoot some of the lady golfers at some point." That sounds a lot like Bill Murray's improv. He was like, "I got something for you," and boom, they get a scene out of it.
In the first
it, Soul
original
Assassin.
4.5 hour cut, they said that scene took 30 minutes. They could have had that scene go for 30 minutes. They had that much footage of it.
Oh my god!
I would love to see the outtakes from this movie.
Wow. Bill
Wouldn't
Murray
you?
can really last a long time. That's amazing.
Maybe someday we'll movie and they'll put outtakes in the bonus material. I would love that.
Yeah.
That's it. You heard us. Harold Ramis's Ghost. We need a 4K edition with all of the features, all of them of Caddyshack. You know you want to do it. Come back to Earth and make this shit happen. Oh, I will point out this guy right here. He was in Wayne's World, and I did not know that until today.
Really?
Which one? Brian Doyle Murphy?
Yes.
Or Murray?
Murray?
He was Noah's
Bill Murray's brother.
Yes.
Yeah. He was Noah something. God knows. I gotta look up on
the bigwig in
Sphincter says was. Yeah, Sphincter says what?
Yeah. Noah's Arcades.
Yes, thank you. Noah's Arcade. And because my girlfriend pointed out to me, I'm like, hold on, what? And I look at them, I'm like, they look nothing alike, but she was right though, because I looked and it was him. Like, holy fuckeroni.
I remember, I was a fan of National Lampoon's. I had a record of theirs, so I knew the name Brian Doyle Murray. He'd been associated with them for a while, and I saw him in this movie, and then I'm watching for a guy who looks like Bill Murray's brother. I had to go to IMDb to find out that it was the head of the Caddies.
Yeah,
that's Bill Murray's brother. I was like, he doesn't look like him.
He doesn't look like him or sound like him. Hey, he's got that voice like this.
Yeah.
Big hitter Dama. He lays into it 10,000 feet down in a crevice, foot of a glacier.
Yeah.
This was one of the best speeches, best scenes in the whole movie.
Yes.
Dude was like, "Can you take it easy with the pitchfork at my neck?" And he's like,
"Yeah, exactly."
He just looked at him and said, "Grow up, man. Come on." Like it's actually pushing into his neck.
Yeah, you see it going in.
Yeah. Well, Bill Murray, is, and this will be another trivia bit. Murray is a huge golfer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the whole family.
Hugely fanatical golfer. Yeah, he still does it. Well, he told a story in an interview one time, one of his rare interviews. He said, he was at this one course, and he was playing with a caddy, and he gets to a par 3 that has water all the way in front of a raised green. So you can't see the green from the tee. You can just see where the flag sticks up. So he takes the club he wants. The caddy walks halfway to the pin, and he takes his swing. And the ball is, dead on. His shot is absolutely arrow straight, and it is headed right for the pin. The caddy takes one look at this shot and sets off for the green at as best a run he can manage, carrying Bill's bag. He goes over the bridge, over the creek, drops the bag, goes up the bank onto the green, and he turns around and goes, "It's in the hole! It's in the hole, Mr. Murray!" And Bill said he was doing his level best impression of Carl Spackler from the Caddyshack.
It's in the hole.
It's in the hole.
Okay, so Philbo Baggins has his comment here. Brian Doyle Murphy was the voice of the Flying Dutchman in SpongeBob.
Yes, that's true.
Holy
wow.
You guys are just dropping the bombs in the chat with these things. And we have a few people who said that they feel like the Murrays look exactly alike, or at least very alike. And
the youngest brother and Bill look the most alike.
Yeah.
I want to mention something here because this guy is like, I paid no 50 cents for Coke. Yeah, you know he'll be begging to pay that price now.
Yeah.
You know he's begging to pay that price now.
Oh yeah. And let's also give a quick shout out to the classic Coke bottle shaped glass Coke bottle.
Yeah.
With real sugar.
With real sugar in it.
Not
sugar.
corn crap.
Yeah.
And when they had the badass polar bear too promoting for the
Oh, I love this part when he opens the door.
Yes. Out.
Get out of
Don't
here.
you need me for
Get
anything, Lou?
Get out of here. Oh, hey, dude, I was just fucking around.
I think you and I, my friend, ought to go outside and have a little talk.
In the original script, though, he was like second billing.
You take him
out. Say again, Brahma.
This kid was?
Oh, in the original script, he was like second billing. The show was about the caddies in the original thing. Then when Chevy and Rodney Dangerfield and Bill Murray came on, the whole storyline for the caddies disappeared except for Noonan.
Right.
I think they realized like they needed a little start because they already had, once again, as mentioned earlier, they already had some of the odds going against them. A directorial debut, a sports that they have not really covered either very seldomly, if at all, with golf as a movie. And then you got all these youngsters. They needed some star power to balance that out. And obviously some of these guys had come hot off of Animal House, like Harold Ramis. So they needed to make sure that they could have some names to balance it out and of course Ted Knight as well, Chevy Chase. So they needed to make sure they had something to balance out because I don't think they were confident that they could just survive off the kids, is my guess.
And
that's just my
SNL
theory.
was so big back then too. I mean, SNL
that was huge. Yeah.
Was this after Meatballs or when does Meatballs come out?
It came out in 1980.
I was gonna say I think around the same year, but Gary beat me to it.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
It was immediately after Meatballs for Murray.
And speaking of the people that came aboard, can anybody think of a Rodney Dangerfield
I stand corrected.
movie?
79.
79 Meatballs.
Meatballs was a year ahead then.
Oh,
okay.
That was first.
Yeah.
But can anybody think of a Rodney Dangerfield movie where he gets to do so much of basically his stand-up material?
Yeah, I get no respect.
Oh, man.
This was his first movie.
Yeah, was it his first movie?
Yes,
but they just let
He was
him
terrified
roll.
doing this film.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah,
That's why he's always sweating. It's Florida.
Well, he used to think he was ruining every scene. That's how terrified he was. He thought
Right.
Because
he
he
was
wasn't
not
getting
doing anything to improve
laughter.
it.
He wasn't getting laughter, and it's because a lot of the staff were instructed not to laugh.
Right.
And ruin shots.
You'd ruin the scene.
It would ruin the shot, yeah.
And as a
he was
comic, he's used to that, right?
He's used to having that live reaction,
Yes.
and he thought he was dying.
And the irony is that, his I don't get no respect, wrenching at his tie, trying to loosen it.
Yeah, but it looks good on you.
He was portraying a dying comic.
Mm-hmm.
That was his comic persona on stage. But he was never dying when he was on stage. He was always getting that feedback from the audience. And now here he is in his first movie, and it's like, holy crap, my whole routine is coming true.
Yeah, he just kept walking around going, "Do I suck? Do I suck? What's going on? Why isn't anybody laughing?"
Right.
And they were like, "They can't. It will ruin the scene." And he finally figured it out, but he didn't even know what the word action meant. On his first scene, they said action, and they're like waiting and waiting and waiting, and they're like, "Rodney, this is you." And he goes, "Oh, you want me to do the bit?"
Oh, but yeah, some of his lines, I bet when you buy a hat like this, you get a free cup of soup. Oh, but it looks good on you.
Oh, dude, I laughed so
Knight
hard.
throws the hat in,
Where he's making fun of that hat.
that or he gets the chef. They tell the chef during the dinner that what he's been saying about the food. Like, I can still see the marks where the jockey was hitting it. The last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it. And go and tell the chef, and he grabs a meat cleaver and he goes nuts. He's going to come out and kill him. That was absolutely priceless. You understood why Judge Smales hated. I mean, aside from the fact that he was an incredibly, pretentious stuffed shirt, you could understand why he hated Rodney Dangerfield's character because Dangerfield's character,
of it.
yeah, it was obnoxious.
You got the classes in there. You got the old money. You assuming the judge is the old money, the Thurston Howell the third type guy, right? And then you got Dangerfield's just like the character in Back to School, the nouveau riche. He's like, I'm gonna buy this dump. I'm gonna buy this golf course. It's just a waste of and so it's that conflict there. And then it's like, well, you get Chevy Chase's character later on. It's much later on, but he's like, my dad always hated you, basically. So
yes.
But he's old money too. He realizes that Judge what an asshole here, and then
this is where he calls him, where he tells the joke.
You can't say it, but yeah, and I'll fix you bastard. Yeah,
he basically.
He's like, son of a bitch.
And he looks like he puts that shoe on a grinding wheel.
Bastard,
Oh,
like
man.
that,
There was a callback on the hat, too. Later, he sees him out on the golf course, and he's like, Hey, Judge, where's your
Oh
hat?
yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. Ryan says, "Do you think the original cut Caddyshack could have worked?" It maybe it would not have been a bad movie, but I don't think it would have been as timeless as it has become. I think it would have been like a good, solid, fun, like maybe what I don't know if you consider it high school or college, kids in golf. I feel like it would have been a good movie. I don't think it would have been considered a classic the way it's become. But that's just my take. Maybe the other guys want to object.
I think if they hadn't brought in the other stories, they hadn't brought in Rodney and they hadn't brought in Carl and the Gopher, this would have struggled to be as popular as, say, Porky's. As a coming of age movie, basically, right? The kid trying to get the scholarship to go to college, blah blah blah. This would never have been even in the same league as Porky's.
Oh, here it is.
Oh man.
Oh, looks good on you.
And I got to admit, I have seen hats like that, and I have stood in the store.
Oh, that smug face. Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes.
The smug. Basically, if you want to sum this up in more modern terminology, Dangerfield is Steve Austin. What Smales is for Vince McMahon.
Yes.
Yes. Steve Austin's just the guy who comes in there, makes the scene, does whatever he wants, and all of a sudden, Smales is just Vince McMahon's like, how dare you overstep everything it is that I do? And we lost Brahma Bull.
Yeah, what
He'll
happened?
be back.
Oops.
Be back, Brahma. Where are you? Get the fuck back here.
Fix your
Get to
interwebs.
the chopper. Get to the chopper.
Come
Get in,
on.
you son of a bitch.
I hope it's not a tumor.
It's
It's a
not
vagina.
But no, this movie kind of came together as they were making it. Is my impression. It was certainly
was.
Well, they were
wasn't
changing so
planned.
much going into production.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of that was desperation.
And part of it is also the genius of Harold Ramis.
Yes.
Yes, once again.
And unfortunately, this led to Kenny's downfall too, because they thought it was a huge flop, and then he had we'll talk about it later, maybe at the press conference where he showed up drunk and not.
Yeah, he just thought
so
that
far
he
after.
peaked. He thought he peaked, and that was it.
Right.
I'm done. I can't do any better.
Very sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love this scene, and then it turns out later this is a girl too. Like, so the first time you watch this movie, you
Oh,
don't realize-
really?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is the girl here trying to carry the
Yes.
bag until she takes her hat off and jumps into the pool. Yeah, so
Right.
Oh, and then
Oh,
the
my God, look at
toxicity
that. Look at
rises.
that.
There we are.
Yeah.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
she must be really good at golf.
Yep.
She's definitely there to golf. That's the
Let's
only
put it
reason
this
why
way.
Lacey is there.
Let's put it this way. She is every male golfer's handicap when she's on the
I mean, her
course.
nipples are showing through there.
Yes. She's not wearing a bra. That's why I said she doesn't bump into things in the dark. Her lights are always on.
Look at that. Oh, my God.
Oh, there he is.
So
Right on
everyone
time.
stop talking.
Oh, yeah, Bravo came back right on time. Oh my God.
Also
Van
toxic.
Buck's
I literally got the blue screen of death. It went completely blue and shut down completely.
I think she made
I wonder.
her point.
She
Hey, Judge, where's your hat?
smoked her screen. Yeah.
What's up, Jeffo? The panel might need some towel.
Where's your hat?
Oh, and this is when you realize, okay, Lacey is there to be trouble because she came from New York?
I've
in
never
this
seen anybody
movie,
address a ball like
and
this.
she's like, I don't want. She's got the I don't want to be here. I'm only here because I have to attitude. She's the sassy. And she realizes she needs to make the most of her opportunity, and she does in more ways than a few, to say the very least. And it causes quite a rise. And also, can we give a shout out to Mr. Wang? What a great name, Mr. Wang.
Yes.
Not
Say hello to Mr. Wang.
He's from
stereotype
a
too much
family
with
of
the camera.
big wangs.
Hey, counting is dangerous. How you doing? How you doing?
That's almost a Spaceballs joke. He's trying to put a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir.
Yeah, it's like any like good story doesn't work without a good villain, right? So the judge is like, Knight
He
is.
is.
Love to hate the guy. It's just so so
And
funny, so awesome in this role.
He played it so well. And it must have been so frustrating.
Wang smile. I didn't know Wang could smile.
The crooked hat.
That's all he does the whole movie. He just stands there and smiles behind Dangerfield the whole time.
And the name tag's still on there. The price tag, I mean, yeah.
The price tag is still on his hat.
Tag is on there.
They pick up all the stuff when you clip the movie too. It's like you pay double attention. It's like
And
I never slice.
Yeah.
And there goes the banana ball into the woods.
Yeah, he shanked it.
And when you play
man.
golf, you use all these lines too. Like I don't play that much, but it's like whenever I tee up, it's like, and I never slice. And you have all these like lines you can use when you fuck up.
Absolutely.
Like golf.
Can I get a mulligan?
Yeah, I just keep kicking the ball. I've done that before too.
Kicking the ball. Yeah, I improved my lie. Winner rules.
Winner rules.
Sit there and go no.
Okay,
I've done
so
that before.
what are these things called that carries all the golf pucks?
The golf puck?
The golf bag?
It's a golf
Is that what it's
bag.
called?
Yeah,
golf
golf
bag.
bag.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have some fancy name.
No, it
I
doesn't
Just the
really.
golf
Okay,
bag,
well, I only asked because I just love how advanced his golf bag is.
Oh,
how,
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
technologically advanced.
Yeah. I mean,
It's got a stereo in it.
They make
Yeah.
a phone
Yeah.
call. He can play.
No, it's funny is
Kegerator.
he,
It's got a
he's
kegerator in
Yeah,
it.
he's got
It
a
should
keg.
have. It
boxing
should have.
gloves for head covers.
Yep.
Yeah. What it should have is Caterpillar tracks on it. Then you wouldn't have to carry it.
That's
You
right.
just borrow the remote to have it roll along behind you.
Well, I can picture Nick Weiser playing golf. He'd have and it would just be playing metal, like pissing everyone off.
Oh my
on the
god!
course.
I would get kicked out.
I do that. I do that on the golf course. We take out a Bluetooth stereo and just stream music on the golf course while we're playing.
Beautiful,
It's great.
dude. I love that. RC from the NYC for $10 says, "What's up, Nip? What's up, panel? What's up, chat? Hope everyone's well. RC, I hope you're well, sir. Hell, I hope you're even better. Thank you for your $10. And again, thank you for constantly supporting this channel, dude. You are badass. And remember, the day we meet in the NYC, pizza's on me. All right, it will be on like Donkey and Diddy Kong. Now carry on with the movie where
balls.
Snails gets hit in the gonads by an orange golf ball.
By an orange golf ball. 4.
That's-
I should have said 2.
And that scene is Harold Ramis played golf twice in his life, and the last time he played golf, he hit a ball and it hit some guy directly in the junk. So
Oh no! Oh no!
Ramis knew nothing about golf. It wasn't even a guy that was like way out in front of him. It was like right next to him. Just
Next to
bing.
No!
I remember I was playing golf one time in Arizona, and after we went to a casino, and then there was like a trip, and the guy's totally drunk on the course, and he like starts to tee off like the wrong way, like he's in the fairway, and he starts hitting the ball back the other way, and then he like nails his buddies in the car, like, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
and he like
man.
runs off the side of the course, and he starts puking. I was thinking the kid in Caddyshack, puking in the porch. I was like, this is before cell phones. Like, God, I wish I had that on camera.
Yeah.
Now, something we didn't talk about earlier was Kenny Loggins' theme song for this movie,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
which was just the beginning of his fucking career of writing amazing hit songs for movies.
And
All right,
now
that
look
song
at
is
him.
so awesome. I mean, just it makes you want to dance, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one's
Just
better,
sets
this
up-
one or Danger Zone, though?
Still this one. I
Yeah.
think this
You
is
like this one?
this and the Footloose are the two best songs he ever wrote for movies. Danger Zone, I would put there in the top 5.
Oh, top
Yeah.
5. Oh,
Danger Zone has gotten higher for me because of Archer. the TV series where he's
No,
constantly
yeah.
just going, danger zone.
So dangerous all the time. It's a running gag for that.
Yep.
But he did a lot of films a lot of people don't know that were used in movies, and some of his big hits were used in films. So therefore, they get handed up. They're like, what's that one? Oh my God, it's actually written about his dad being sick.
Hey, music is a violation of our personal privacy. Breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Judge was an SJW long before they existed. He's violating our personal space.
Well, that's where the SJWs got their fucking education, was watching the Christian groups from the 80s trying to shut everything down.
Oh, well, you had you also like
Tipper Gore.
I can't Tipper
Tipper Gore.
He
Yeah.
also
She was
had
part of that Christian group. She was.
Yeah, yeah.
It was all about
the filthy,
the religious groups that were trying to shut everything down. Rock and
the
roll,
filthy
games.
15. The filthy 15.
My sister's 10 years younger than me, so she came back from church, and I love listening to heavy metal. She's like, "This priest gave a sermon, Mark. I think you're going to hell. Don't you listen to that group Black Sabbath? He was talking about that song where they mentioned the Pope." I'm like, okay, Jackie. But yeah, there was a big movement then to squash all the music, and I mean, personally, I don't mind a label on it, but for parents, but they wanted to ban everything and just take it off the shelves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Call
out
out
Snyder went into Congress.
Call out
that
that previous scene though, where he tries to suck up to the judge, and the judge says, well, the world needs ditch diggers too. And then Lacey, in light of what happens later in the movie, Lacey comes by and gives him a big smile and goes, "Nice try."
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, right there. Nice try.
This line, "greasy, grimy gopher guts." And
Yes.
how many times I've used that line?
Greasy, grimy gopher guts.
We just sing that song. Greasy, grimy gopher guts. All ad lib, right? Brilliant ad lib.
Yeah, they did not have a single word in the script for Murray. Everything was ad lib the whole time.
Yes. He invented it as he went along through the entire movie. It's brilliant because that gives you an idea of how great an improvisational comedian Bill Murray truly has been in his career. Because this movie, he made it up.
And every line is gold. I mean,
and
every
it's
line.
gold.
It's
Lines. Hysterical.
You're the lowest members of the food chain. It's like, of course, I can't do his delivery, obviously, but it's like you'll probably be replaced by the rat. It's like, think of all this stuff like on the fly.
Yep.
And then the music.
This gopher is the most ridiculous.
It is.
I mean, it doesn't even look real, but it's amazingly funny.
But that was the thing I loved about it, is that they could have tried to go for maybe assuming they had the budget, which I don't think they did. They blew it on coke, but they could have tried to go for something that really looked like a real gopher. And I think that it's funnier in the context of a movie like this.
It is.
For it to look like something that you buy from Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
no, it works. Yeah.
Well, Ramis said it gave the audience permission to laugh when that was the very first thing you see on the screen. This is just going to be a stupid movie.
Don't take this movie seriously.
Exactly. But what I love the fact he reaches in there and he flips at the bird and it bites him on the hand.
Playing for keeps now.
Yep. And if this were a Bugs Bunny cartoon, at this point, Bugs would have said, "Of course you realize this means war."
Well,
I guess the kidding around's pretty much over, huh?
All the traps would have said Acme on them.
Yeah, exactly. Everything would have said Acme, yes.
Where does he get all the C4 later on? I love that.
Who knows?
I don't know, but when we get there,
magic.
I've got background stories on that too.
Okay, good. Well, I look forward to hearing about it, dude. I think like it's just like this becomes one of those things where I get conflicted because obviously Murray's so entertaining as Carl. Like his subplot is just as entertaining as the main story, even though like you could take it out and it wouldn't maybe affect the movie, but it's just so entertaining that you got to keep it there for how good it is.
Yeah, I just realized I used the wrong comparison to the Looney Tunes cartoons. This isn't Bugs Bunny.
Wile E.
Carl
Coyote.
is the Road Runner Carl is the coyote,
better,
and the
right?
gopher is the roadrunner. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
We
better
knew
one,
what you
It could be
meant.
either one.
Yeah.
It
I
does
mean,
work with
all
Elmer
of these
Fudd.
schemes backfire on him.
Yeah.
And
Same thing with Elmer Fudd.
Yeah. Well,
Except today, Elmer Fudd can't have a gun, right? He's got it.
Right, he can't have a
they gave
gun.
him they gave him a really big knife instead. I'm
Oh,
like, well,
God.
that's much safer, right?
the
hunting
difference is
wabbits.
the difference is it could be Elmer. It's hard to tell because I'm trying to remember whether Murray ever pays a physical price other than being bitten.
Yeah.
Because the Roadrunner and the Coyote, the Roadrunner's only allowed to go meep meep, and that's all it can do to the Coyote is, he jumps off of cliffs, jumps into the air, startled, and hits his head on a shelf of rock over him. I mean, all of the things that happen to the Coyote, or he runs into he paints a tunnel on the wall of rock, whatever, all that stuff. He gets hammered in those.
Hey, there's that
in those
tap.
cartoons.
There's the tap.
There's the tap.
There's the tap.
Yeah.
Yes.
God.
And this was
yeah.
given to him by Albert Einstein. Made a fortune in science.
And he's got a slander about Italians here too. So as an Italian, that's not. That's a it's for Italians. It's a skilled labor. It's. Boom.
Seriously, I already suck at golf. Need to drink beer and play golf. That's a disastrous combination. And the ball wouldn't be fly, or the puck that would fly. And I don't want anyone to get hurt because of my dumbass actions. No, not gonna happen. Seriously, me playing golf and beer is wow. Oh, look at this. Once again, technologically advanced. This thing
Right.
this is like a detector for the perfect shot. I'm assuming that's what it is for the perfect shot. Am I
Yes.
Line it right up.
okay.
And all it is a backwards telescope.
Yes. Yeah. It's about as practical as the kegerator in his golf bag.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, if
These
you play
lines
golf,
were
they
great from the priest too.
they bring you the beer on the course, right? Whenever you stop. But yeah, I love that idea. That was yeah, and then he says he's Catholic. He's like, sorry, you can't show up.
You can't join.
Oh, damn. Such a flip.
Very waspy.
Seriously.
What is the name of the boat?
very-
I christened you the Wasp, or what was that?
The flying
boat?
wasp.
The flying wasp.
The flying wasp, yes.
A boat that is the flying wasp.
Craziness. Yeah.
Oh,
God.
man.
And this is the beginning where you start to see him start to becoming a major kiss ass because of that freaking scholarship. And
That was
boy,
another Murray brother, by the way, in the background in it.
Oh, that was another Murray brother. Yeah, we all go back. Yeah.
what? Yeah, go. Yeah, definitely. Let's.
That's the Murray brother there. Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, well, his hair looks more even on his head than Bill's does. I'm just saying, because Bill's had the most interesting hair for the last 40, 50 years.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Kingpin
doing
when he's got
what
the
looked
comb
like a
over.
comb over. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah,
I did just think of another Murray brother movie that you
Look
would
how sweaty
be
he is
perfect
there.
for this.
Yeah.
One
Oh my
Crazy Summer.
God. What's up, Yeti?
Yeah.
Yay.
How you doing? Dude,
They don't want to be buried
Hey, Yeti,
nowadays.
what's
The college,
up?
you're
Oh.
right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to say this. Fuck you, Yeti.
oh well, then yeah, just tell him to fuck off then.
He's my buddy.
Is he though?
Is he though? Is he?
I don't know.
Now
I
there's a
don't know,
girl
Gary.
about to appear here, right here. This
Wait, you
is
see-
Sarah Holcomb, and she was in Animal House. She was the cashier, the 15-year-old cashier that sleeps with Tom Hulce's character.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And this
she
is her
was-
last movie ever.
Ever. She was 13
Ever.
in Animal House.
Yeah, nobody knows what happened to this girl. She
Until-
went private.
She just disappeared. Yeah. Yep. And I just
There
noticed
was-
this now.
There was
There's,
two,
sorry,
there
there's,
was-
there's a TV on this golf.
Yeah, on the
my
golf
God.
I didn't notice.
Why?
See,
everything is on
I
there.
just noticed that there's a freaking.
Yes.
Sorry, Gary.
And
It's
Wayne
got a
still
radio
got the tag
cassette
on his
player,
hat.
TV. It's got a kegerator.
Yeah.
God, it's crazy.
It's got a stereo in it.
a telescopic thing for hitting golf that's backwards. That whatever you guys said
Yes.
earlier. Like what?
But this
That-
girl
that
was
is
so
the Mary
cute. I had a
Sue
crush
golf.
on her.
So
back
she
when
disappeared
this
totally.
movie came out. She left entertainment completely. Word
This
was that she had
girl.
developed schizophrenia. And
This girl, the one who is the underager in Animal House.
right,
Yeah.
the 15-year-old cashier.
Yes. Okay, I remember
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't recognize her with the haircut at first, too, until you. then you
No,
pay
I didn't
attention.
recognize her until I looked
Yeah.
her up on IMDb. I'm like, bro, what? Just like the Wayne's World guy. I would never know if I had not looked it up.
I did recognize her after I'd seen this movie a couple of times, and I think I had I rewatched Animal House, and then I watched this, and that was when the penny dropped.
It
And
clicked, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I went, wait a minute. That's Maggie. That's the mayor's daughter from Animal House.
Animal House.
Yeah.
Yes.
She may have gone schizophrenic from trying to do this accent, though.
It's an Irish accent. What's wrong with that?
It's an Irish accent, all right.
Well, there you go. You got to do it correctly.
It's accent of a sort.
I'll meet you around the parish around 3:30.
Yeah, she's so cute though in this. Yes.
Wow.
Well, she was a major part of the original script. I mean, they had a whole line that goes through the whole movie in the original.
It's just really
I
weird.
love Ted Knight's rage here. He gets just so fucking angry.
Yes.
Oh my god, I love his rage of hall moments here. Seriously, but no, seriously, like
And he
it
tries
makes
to play it cool, but he's not cool.
No.
It gets worse.
Look at that.
It gets
When he turns
worse.
to look down range, man, his eyes are fucking bugged out.
Yep.
I fucking love this scene. And fucking Dangerfield won't leave him alone.
Won't leave him alone.
Look at the passion on Knight's face. Oh,
Yep.
you go back. I was gonna say the bell. That seriously, like he looks like he's like not even acting here. He looks like he's legitimately freaking. Oh, there it is, right there.
There
Tell
it
me
is.
that is not the face of fear.
Look
right
at the
there.
fucking eyes.
Yes.
Deranged.
And he wants to throw the club at him, and he can't.
That's the face of I'm a serious actor and you're Rodney Dangerfield.
That's right. And I can't believe I'm in a movie with you.
Stop upstaging me. Stop it. There
my
it is.
God.
There we go.
There
And
it
here
is.
comes.
Here it
And
comes.
she's laughing back there.
Throw her
for a
around the
second.
world.
Yeah.
This is one of the best scenes in the movie, I think.
I love this scene. So
It's the same thing. It's the same thing you got out of Patrick Stewart for the first few portions of Star Trek: The Next Generation when he was an
Yes.
actor,
Just kept-
and then the rest
these
of them, it was
Americans
like,
kept
I've got
fucking
the
with
Reading
him.
Rainbow guy, and who the hell are the rest of these people?
Right. And I read a book by Bob Hope because he was a huge golfer as well, and he ran tournaments and stuff.
Yep.
And he had one line in it that would be applicable to right here. He, in his own sense of humor, he said, "When I make a terrible shot, I don't jump up and down or scream and shout or throw my club. I take a deep breath because that's what gives me the strength to break that club over my knee."
Now, there was a toxic male for you, Bob Hope.
Oh, yeah.
There's an old story I read about Bob Hope and Bing Crosby. They're playing golf, I think in Florida or somewhere it was really hot. So they took their shirts off. Well, back then you had the quote unquote wife, t-shirts, wife beaters
Right.
on.
Wife
And
beater,
the course
yeah.
manager came over and said, "It's in the rules. You can't play without your shirt. You have to put your shirts back on." And like, come on, you got to let us play with our shirts. And they're like, you have to put them on. And he's like, well, so Bob Hope goes, does it say anywhere in the rules we have to play with pants? So they drop their pants. And then the manager's like, okay, you can play without your shirts. Because they're going to play without their pants on.
All right. D-Bud has a very bold comment here that I partially
He's right.
agree with.
He's
I partially
He
agree.
is right.
Yeah.
No,
I was going
believe
to say
he's right.
between him and Dangerfield. I think those two together are the combined effort. But I can see why you'd say Ted
Well,
Knight. because
Dangerfield is
they're
the
the yin and
chaos.
yang.
Well, he's
Yep.
the chaos, and what D-Bud, is that his name? Martin?
D-Bud
Martin,
Martin.
yep.
Yeah.
Is saying is he's the cohesive part.
Yes.
Ted Knight absolutely is the guy who puts it all together. And I think they did. Harold Ramis was genius with this character.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rodney
no,
Danger-
I can see that.
But so yeah, well, it's just it's. I put it another way. Rodney Dangerfield's character would have had nothing to push against, nothing to struggle against.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus, Chevy Chase's character would be completely meaningless.
Plus, he's also a villain for every other character too.
Right.
You know, even the kid here.
Yeah.
You know, he shines the kid on, plays him,
uses him. Yeah.
You have a bunch. You have
ahead.
a bunch of protagonists. You have one antagonist.
Yep.
It's Judge Smales.
Oh crap! Oh,
yeah, and then Danny saves his ass here, and he gives him 50 cents to buy.
Yes.
Coke,
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
yeah.
And then he finishes his drink.
50
Yeah, get ready for it. Here it is.
cents.
But what Ramos said was that he modeled it after one of the Marx Brothers movies. So you had the rich elites.
I can see that.
You had
I can see that.
The Marx Brothers were Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, and Rodney Dangerfield doing different characters like a Marx Brothers movie.
Yeah, and Smales is Margaret. What's her name? The poor woman who played the upper crust, upper society lady in every one of their movies for them to just play against.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Best line ever delivered in any of the films was when she's hugging him or he's hugging her. She goes, "Hold me tighter." So he holds her tighter. So she says it again, "Hold me tighter." He tries to hold her tighter, and then she goes, "Hold me tighter." He says, "If I hold you any tighter, I'll be behind you." Great fucking line.
Yep.
Brian, I think we answered this earlier on the panel about Sarah Holcomb. She kind of like, she did her thing, and then she just kind of peaced out shortly after.
Well, there's a movie based on her called Stateside.
Is there? Okay.
So I'd post that if you scroll back a little bit, I could.
Okay. Yeah, I could go back for it. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
so
but just so that's based on her life. So unfortunately, they said she got into drugs and quote unquote the bad crowd, and she had schizophrenia, unfortunately, and then. So this was her last movie, as other people have mentioned. So
she got incarcerated.
Sad...
I'll post it again in the chat because I think you posted in the private chat. So is that Futile and Stupid?
Well, that's the movie about Kenny. So that's
okay. That's the movie about Kenny.
That's that's a must watch, and other people in the chat have mentioned that too. That's a great movie to watch to learn. The making of national formation of National Lampoon. I think it's on Netflix right now. So that's a good one to watch too. And unfortunately, Kenny, ended up dying shortly after this movie. As we mentioned.
He walked off of a high place.
He drove off of a cliff.
Yeah.
Yep.
You kind of man I dream of at night. What?
Yeah.
I just read that there's an update that said that she had retired due to drug and alcohol addiction.
All right. Well, there you go. There's your full details. I see the Clobbering Times in the chat. What's up, buddy? And then Dave Serta says here, out on the golf course, I hit the ball and bounced off a tree and flew back past behind me. Holy shit, dude. That had to have been scary.
It is.
Seriously, that is freaking scary.
It would be.
Because when I still think of one of the scariest golf scenes, it's not in this movie, but it's a scene in I Love You Man with Paul Rudd and Jason Segel,
Great
where
film.
they play with what's Paul Rudd's character's name? Jason Segel's character, Sydney. They go play golf and then they bring the girls with, and Zoe's friend kicks the ball and it hits Sydney. It's just like, ow, motherfucker, shit.
They hurt. They hurt, yeah.
Mary, this is my nightmare.
Oh yeah, they hurt. It wouldn't feel any better to be hit by a rock. Let's put it that way.
That's pretty bad, yeah. And we have a golf course in town that we drive through. It's like on a main road. And I had back in the day, I had a pickup truck, a white Mazda B2000, little pickup truck. I'm driving through where the golf course is. And I hear something go, and a golf ball landed in the back of my truck and rattled around. So when I got home, I had a golf ball. Yeah, it didn't break anything, thank God. But I can only imagine the guy like teeing up there or whatever.
I remember on Family Guy they showed the golf caddy guy that was going out there to pick up the balls, and them trying to hit him. I'm like, at the driving range where I grew up, that happened all the fucking time.
All the time.
It still does.
That's why they put screens on the cart.
Why they put screens on there. Because your goal is, there it is.
There he is. Get him. Yes. The most amazing effect of a golf ball hitting something I ever saw was when I walked out. I was in a public course in New Jersey because I was working down there for my company as a consultant. And I started playing 2 or 3 times a week. So, I'd drive into the, this is a public range. I'd drive into a public course. I'd drive into the parking lot and walk up and put myself on my name on a waiting list for a single, which means when they have a pair, they'd add 2 singles to it. If they had a trio, they'd add 1. I mean, I don't think I ever waited more than 40 minutes, and I'll be damned if I ever scheduled a tea time there. But one day I came out, and on my way to my car, I saw right on the edge of the golf course itself was a Porsche 928, black. And I'd say it's black because it's what made me notice the fact that it had a golf ball embedded in its right front fender. Because that car had an aluminum body, and when that ball hit it, it didn't bounce. It stuck
in the car.
Impacted.
I'll show him dog food.
All right, Soul Sass is a good one. Y'all golfers have good aim. I was in a car with friends, and my friend had an air horn, and a ball got him.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
You guys got some golf stories. If you got more, share them in the chat because these are great golf stories. But, dude, Dangerfield here, as Al freaking farting his ass
Mark,
off
what are
and
you
making
saying hi
the
to me in the
scene.
chat for?
No, I said hi to. I said hi to Pop Culture. Oh, I said hi to the wrong person. Hi, Gary. How are you?
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
I looked up there like, why are you saying hi to me in the chat?
Just checking if you're. God, I need new glasses. You know, with these contacts, I can't freaking read. It sucks to get old.
No, man, I know. You meant Pop Culture Republic.
I put Pop Culture. So hail Pop Culture Republic. Yep.
There you go.
Oh shit.
Too.
Hey, sorry, Pop Culture Republic.
Oh, God,
I got your love letter.
Oh, hold up. I think we just got hit.
You did.
We just got hit.
Oh, they nailed us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a second then. I was
Are
going to
they
do
saying
something.
that it's playing too fast?
Probably it's too fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I suspect that there isn't enough space between the freeze frames.
Yeah, but I did clipped a lot more of these too, so
All right.
I can slow it down. Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
Bastages.
I have mine set for Rain of Fire for 2 hours and 50 minutes. Every 30 seconds, the notification, copyright notification. Just like you said, Mark. If I get shut down, I'm going to blame you.
Yeah. It's the first time they've gotten us in probably like 3 months, I think, right?
It's me. I'm a curse.
All right. Hey, yeah, everyone say, hang on. Yes, the stream will be back. It was inevitable that we were all guns blazing. We're peaking with the attendance. We're the conversation is thriving. They just had to go for it. And apparently it happened to Odin earlier too.
And you've always beaten it too whenever you do.
Yeah. It's just the problem is that they they always use AI. It's just like AI is not solving your problem. It's only making the problem
worse. Exactly. Hey, here's some trivia for you because I'm a big fan.
Oh, we're back. Hold up. Are we back? Everyone?
Yep.
Everyone in chat. Everyone, do back. Oh, yeah, we're back. Yeah. Woo. What's up, Ella Gabulus? He says, I'm late and Nick is duped by YouTube. Dude, it's not as if you're streaming a college game or ESPN. Yeah, dude, I don't know, guys. Hey, guys, everyone's saying we're back. Well, guys, hey, thank you for sticking with us. That's awesome. We're here. Mark, we'll probably just work on slowing these things down.
I'm gonna slow it down.
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to put a pause on this.
Pause it. Yeah, I'm gonna pause it. Yep.
And we're at a good scene, anyways.
Yes, I'll pause it.
It's the living dead.
Well, I was going to give you some trivia on Rodney Dangerfield because a lot of people don't know this, that he was in a Stanley Kubrick film.
Oh.
His first movie ever, uncredited, he was a bystander in the movie The Killing.
Oh.
By Stanley Kubrick.
Okay.
This is back before he even tried stand-up.
That, I see. I can't see him being it. That just seems way too mature for him. I
think he was just trying anything at this point. You know,
they just needed a bug-eyed guy in the background.
Right.
Yeah, I don't picture him ever being good looking.
He wasn't.
I grew up on him on the Tonight Show, dude, and he was always ugly. I was so ugly as a child, my mother had to put a pork chop around my neck so the dog would play with me.
You know whose Dangerfield's eyes remind me of? They remind me of remember that scene in Total Recall when they were having trouble breathing near the end?
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
Well, he
like
suffered from hypothyroidism.
Yes, that's why his eyes bulged.
Yeah.
Oh,
I went to high school with
symptom of it. Yeah.
I went to high school with a young lady who had hyperthyroidism, and her eyes bulged more than Rodney Dangerfield's did. Sweet young woman, but God, she did look like she was about 30 seconds away from buying it on Mars.
On Mars.
We used to call that fisheye syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hanging out.
Rodney, and I don't know how. I know Rodney he was really big on helping other comics. So Bob Saget, Sam Kinison, Louis Anderson, I believe, they were all proteges of his. They were all he gave them all their chances at Dangerfield's Comedy Club, and promoted them and helped them get started in the industry. I wonder just how hard it was for him when he started doing stand-up, because for him to adopt the persona of the dying comedian,
you cut out that
stand-up, right? But I don't think I've ever seen anybody, even momentarily in one of their bits, be a comic that's dying on stage. But Rodney did it his whole career. And
Rodney was always so self-deprecating in his comedy.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And
background.
Soul Assassin actually said something, because that was one of his jokes, was, I was so ugly as a child, the doctor smacked my mother when I was born.
Yes.
Yeah.
or I'd come on stage and people say, let's go to the bathroom while he's on. Let's have dinner while he's on. I'm background for bodily functions.
A little piece of movie trivia for this one. Guess who they originally had in mind for that part? For Dangerfield's part.
Who?
Rickles. That's who it was written for.
Oh, that could have worked.
That could have worked.
And guess who was supposed to play Danny originally?
Who was supposed to be Danny?
Luke
Mickey
Skywalker.
Rourke.
No.
Really?
Mickey
Rourke was who they had in
Mickey
mind
was
originally.
pretty good when he was young. He wasn't crazy yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to imagine that because he's like, wow.
If you've ever seen Diner, man, he's really good in that fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, Diner's a classic. Yeah.
They decided he probably didn't have the comedic timing and couldn't handle this as like a method actor type actor.
Yeah, he's very method. Like he's a Brando actor. He took out Brando.
People are mind blown in the chat by that. Yeah, right. And I did not expect to hear that name. Jeez,
neither did I. Me. That would be like saying we're going to have Peter O'Toole play Danny.
Yeah. Well, I told you, I watched like an hour and 30-minute documentary on the making of this to get ready for this. That's how excited I was for this.
Yeah.
And I always wondered if Jackie Mason had ever been picked, because he was in the second film. But I had wondered if that was somebody that they had looked at for the first film, because that was just still the kind of comedy he would have gotten into, Jackie Mason.
But think of what it would have been for Don Rickles to have been going up against Judge Smales.
Oh, it would have been.
I mean, that would be. I would pay to have all of these people come back and do this movie again, as long as Don Rickles replaces Rodney Dangerfield, and I want that cut.
Well, we actually have the ability today with that fake software replacing the faces.
Hashtag release the Rickles cut. Hashtag release the Rickles
release the Rickles cut. Well, but that's the thing. The face would be easy to do today.
You can't change
the problem would be the voice for one, but even more than that, there isn't a comic today that could write Don Rickles material. Have you seen a roast in the last 30 years?
And most of his comedy is improv.
Yeah, I caught that.
That's creepy as fuck, dude.
No, not as creepy as Wake Down putting my face into Cats. I haven't forgiven him for that yet.
Oh, that is so creepy. The arms.
Yeah. But Don Rickles was the king of insult comedy, and comics have forgotten how to do insult comedy. Yeah.
Sorry, Nick.
No, it's okay.
That Rodney's joke about it, this would be considered skilled labor for one particular ethnic group or one particular nationality, and
Yeah,
I'm not going to
D'Annunzio.
say it on Nick's channel because never mind. That would be where Rickles started, and it would go downhill from there.
Yeah.
Varmint Poontang. What a choice of words. Dead varmint.
I smell varmint poontang.
I smell
and the only
varmint
good
poontang.
varmint poontang is dead varmint poontang.
Yeah.
I think.
My favorite is License to Kill by the government of the United Nations.
The United Nations.
Carl
always
is
checking out
imagining
the old
himself
ladies.
to be. Carl's imagining himself to be James Bond.
Yeah, but it's so funny because all he looks at is the old ladies. He's like
Yes.
really into the great chicks.
Yeah.
Oh, you're wearing green, trying to blend in. You can't hide from me.
Chevy here is like making faces.
Yes. Oh.
Well, that guy that played D'Annunzio, the other caddy, the
Yes.
kind of evil caddy,
Yeah.
that dude was in like soap operas. He's like 30 years old at this point.
Right.
And he's playing like a 17, 18-year-old, and he was 30 years old at that point.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest of them are like actual kids.
Yeah, exactly. He was
Chevy.
much older than any of
She
the other
works that
cats.
thumb really well.
I'll just pause there for a second. Just to avoid
Yeah,
this
she
nonsense.
does.
That's fine.
For no
No,
other
it's-
reason. I'll just pause here.
we,
yeah.
we can definitely pause here for a minute, then go back
A
to
special
shots.
award
I like
for
to stop and start.
Best thumb action in a movie.
Yes. That should be an Academy Award category.
It should be, or at least on the MTV Awards.
God.
Maybe we could get Odin. Never mind.
Well, Odin got hit apparently earlier as well. So
What was he doing? He was just showing some clips, or
if I had to guess, yeah, he probably wasn't doing anything wild, and they still nuked him anyway. Like
Yeah.
a precursor to Ralph Macchio. And Dave says he's done. So hey, it was nice seeing you, Dave. And
Take care, Dave.
Bye, Dave.
I'm sure he's being figurative, not literal, with that comment. That's just for very obvious reasons. And then it says, "Y'all can't be washing your balls at the same time." Soul assassin.
I see the name Dave, and all I think it was Cheech and Chong.
Well, this is where Ty meets Lacey, and
Yes.
they get tied.
I like that when he does that with the smoke.
Yeah, with
Oh
the
my
smoke.
god!
And he is
he's smoking.
He's smoking.
God, that I remember when they get to a place. I love how he's making the drink for her, and he mixes up from old drinks and he pours into another thing. He puts a top on to make it look like he's opening a bottle for her fresh, which is not, because it's just totally used leftovers from other drinks. Like, what the frick, dude? Oh my god. Oh, hey, what's up, awesome ones? It's just come from great show. Watch along with Latino Slang. Hey, glad you enjoyed it,
Nice.
dude. Yeah, welcome. Came here at a good time. We got nuked and we came back. And Vince, yes, we might have to think about what we could do about Odyssey. That is something to consider. We'll see. Maybe we'll do like a half the show on YouTube, half the show on Odyssey. I don't know. I'll think about what we can do about that, because yeah, it'd be nice to be able to do this stuff without having to constantly get leveled. So
Yeah,
we'll
not
see.
have to worry about it, right? Yep.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because that's what Fat Steven and I have been working on. Is should we do part of the show on Discord and then part of the show on YouTube, just to keep from getting slammed by these assholes?
yeah, no, dude, it's absolutely crazy, like how that happens. And with Odyssey, I know like Wes Moody, he does like his Trekking on Tuesday.
Yep.
Star Trek, he does the full show. Like he'll get everyone together on YouTube, and they'll bring people like in from there to go to Odyssey and go from there. So I mean, chat, I'd like to know your thoughts. I mean, are you willing to do like whether it's half a show on YouTube or Odyssey, or get enough people here within like half hour and then move to Odyssey? I want to know what your thoughts are in the chat. Let me know what you think about, so we don't constantly get nuked. I want to know what you guys think, because, and be honest with me, if you don't like it, you don't like it. And I see you deleted scenes. How you doing?
For the first time recently,
Deleted
and I've
too. What's up, buddy?
I've had fits on Odyssey with it buffering. Now, admittedly, the reason I'm not on camera is because my bandwidth is terrible, and I just tend to buffer or go really blurry, and it looks like you're looking at me through a jelly glass. So until I can somehow improve my internet speed, I'm basically got a really nice camera that I don't have anything to do with. But Odyssey was a pain in my butt, and all of a sudden, recently, I think they've been optimizing performance on their back end and for streaming. So if you've been to Odyssey, and I know other people have said this to me, that it buffers. It's like I really want to be able to turn the resolution down to 340, and then I could probably see it. Because I was buffering 50 to 60% of the time. In 10 minutes, I was behind by 5. So that you can't watch a Star Trek episode when every 3 seconds it stops for a second and a half. And I think Odyssey's gotten better at that. So you could do this kind of thing, or you could even do a full-blown watch party the way you did X-Files on Odyssey, I suspect, and then talk about it if you wanted to.
That's something to consider, or even Gilded as well, because I don't use Discord anymore. But I got Gilded, and maybe we can look into Gilded as a way of making that useful. So because if Odyssey has those features that are I would just like to not get nuked, even if we just did the clips that Mark is doing right now.
Yep,
not have to worry about it. Yep.
Yeah, not to worry about it.
Line of the movie.
Oh yeah, Harry.
But you got a lot of ties, Ty. You want to tie me up with some of your ties?
Tie, yeah,
tie, and then millions of men imagine themselves getting tied up. I had to.
And then he kisses her eye or her temple.
Right.
Well, he does that. He gives her leftover drinks and passes off as a new drink. He puts too much lotion on her. The whole thing is just he's trying to look like this suave, I've got this down type of guy, but he's just making foul. He's making foul after foul after foul, but somehow she's still going for it. But well, Lacey's kind of the easy type.
I just had a copyright claim.
Her name does say it. Underall. Lacey Underall.
Lacey Underalls.
I get called for Nosferatu, which is actually
it's in public domain.
Public domain film. Seriously, I just got copyright claimed. It just came in my email.
Wow.
How could they claim something in public domain?
That's in the public domain.
The problem is that I can claim any damn thing I want on YouTube because it doesn't bother to do any verification up front.
Oh, yeah. It's claimed by Encrypta in Brazil.
Oh, yeah. I bet that's legitimate.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm going to fight it.
Yes. Fight the power. Soul Assassin's right. Fight the power. That's right.
Yeah.
I
argue that one.
Dude, this is where the classic kid who does his infamous
free drinks.
vomit.
Yes.
Free drinks.
Yeah.
The cigarettes coming up too. Right?
Yeah, I know. That's the best one. Here we go.
Oh, Spalding.
Oh, man. And I tell you what, if you've ever smoked and run afoul of a stale cigarette, you can projectile vomit from one puff on a stale cigarette.
That's why I stick with cigars.
That's why I quit smoking. It was too expensive to keep fresh cigarettes around.
That one's almost as bad as when you grab a bottle of beer at a party and it's a spitter that somebody's been using.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a spittoon. Yes. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, besides which, that will poison you. There's a reason they spit. There's a reason they spit.
Yeah, if you're not used to it. I know plenty of guys that just swallow it now.
No, in college I chewed Red Man. Trust me, if I swallowed more than a tiny bit of it.
Yep.
No, I remember the first time I swallowed some. We had mixed it with bubble gum when I played baseball in high school.
Right.
And I'm like, my best friend, we were like, oh, let's try it. So we mixed it in with the bubble gum.
Yeah.
I swallowed a little bit, and we were back behind. Throwing up.
Yep.
Was that the Sandlot that did that? Or yeah, it was the Sandlot.
I always said the Sandlot was like my fucking childhood because all my friends, we played baseball all the time.
Yeah.
Was that disgusting man?
The look, yeah.
Oh man, and this is where Al sweeps her off her feet, and
yeah. Hey, Judge, mind if I cut in? And then he says, "You want to make $14 the hard way?"
Oh my god!
Classic.
So...
I like the line. He turns to us too, and he's like, "Get a room, you two."
Yeah.
And you guys get some lessons.
Yeah, get some more lessons.
Just throws money at him.
Yep.
Throws money at him and says, get some more lessons. Oh yeah.
Yes,
and I'm watching. I'm looking at all the way through these clips. I'm looking at Al's Rodney Dangerfield's costumes. And his costumes and Judge Smale's costumes are absolutely perfect. You were talking about class difference. There you go. One wearing what looks like to me like an Italian doorman's jacket, and the other one's wearing something that I wouldn't put on a bed.
New money.
The 70s are rough on us. I mean, I got some pictures of us as kids in the 70s.
I lived through the 70s. I still bear that trauma.
You look at the family albums, you're like, holy shit. One time, my mom used to make clothes, and we went to a trip to Europe, and my dad spoke the language there, but we didn't, and she made these bicycle pants. I was like 6 years old, so I didn't give a shit. But there were these red pants with 10-speed bicycles on them. So everywhere we went, my dad was hearing, like, look at these stupid American tourists wearing those ridiculous pants. They all look like idiots, like everywhere they went. Yep. And my dad, we came back, he's like, we're never wearing these pants again.
Right.
We're burning them. But, because they assume, stupid Americans.
I'm no doorknob either, right? I never want to see a man here again.
I have heard that from a lot of people about Europe and about even more so the Soviet Union.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Here it
squish.
Or
here's the squish.
This is the squish that every guy who felt that they had that mental like image in their head of how that felt. And you just get that unsettling feeling.
Yep.
I had a buddy that he's a
and
doctor.
And then she starts to cough up too, right?
Yep.
Look at his face.
I have a buddy, Nick, that's a doctor out in California.
Oh, look at his eyes. Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
And he shit himself during a party. He laughed so hard he shit himself, and he says, "Take me home." And I'm like, I'm not letting you in my car. So I had to lay newspapers down. This is what he felt like. I guarantee you. When he
I bet. I bet. Yeah.
Or the opposite. I was watching a movie later with my college buddies. Excuse me. And one of the friends, like, you see him go over to the couch, and like the other guy, like, gets up and shoves him. It was dark because we're watching a movie. Like my buddy had puked all over my other friend. Like, and then we had a screen door and a pool outside. He walked through the screen door and kept walking and fell right in the pool. Didn't know what the hell he was doing. Yeah.
Ooh, old Forrester. Now, Vince, I see your comment in the chat. It says, "But how do they not smell?" Here's the thing: when you're at a party, you're probably loaded on drugs or alcohol or various differentiations of both. And the minute you step in the car, you've barely been there for a second, and all of a sudden you hear the squish, and then you're putting two and two together, and then that's what kills the buzz or the vibe or whatever it is you want to call it. That is where it all starts to happen. That's how I see it, because that's just like, oh crap, I heard that sound. Oh, I get it now. It smells like fucking vomit in this car. That is so nasty. And then for everyone's starting to be like, yeah.
And you know that the next day, the doctor sold that Porsche.
Detail it as best you can.
Yeah, detail as best you can, and I'm putting it on the used market.
So nasty.
Yeah.
Wait, dude, you trucks it
Every day, sir. So what's the
Every day, sir.
problem?
Good.
Oh my
That's another
god.
great
But what
ad-lib.
did it for you, Darius? The vomit scene, or me talking about my buddy shitting himself? Which one,
Or
Darius?
probably a little bit of both. Or all of the both.
All of the
all
above.
of the both.
Yeah.
All of the
both.
above.
All of the above. Yes. Oh, man.
Hi,
Come on,
YouTube.
bark like a dog for me.
Hey, YouTube AI, these are all photos, so please don't be a fucking retard and knock this out because these are photos and not video clips. AI, be actual intelligent and know that these are not video clips.
Sometimes I go through and delete a bunch anyway, just so we don't have too many. So I guess it thinks it's a movie. So
Yeah.
So I just love this movie so much. I clipped it, probably way
Probably
more
a
than
lot.
some of the other movies. Yeah.
Exactly.
And all the lines are so good, so I have the subtitles on. So it's like I just love that.
Bill always looking at the ladies, the ladies who lunch,
The old ladies
who lunch. Yeah,
He's got a senior fetish.
he does.
Man.
Will teach you the meaning of the word respect.
Guy,
Oh, yeah.
he's gonna break her, like, seriously, he's gonna put her on a wheelchair, like, ugh. Carl, dude, I'm gonna teach you respect. Oh my god, that's
He's just
horrifying.
pissing.
He's pissing on the side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Here it comes. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Da, 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 da.
Oh, Park, I can talk for me.
Yes.
Oh, damn. You
That's
guys are
very
killing me
toxic,
with these
yeah.
comments.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is funny that Carl is the only male character in the movie whose head doesn't turn when Lacey shows up.
Are there any
find that-
scenes with both of them?
I don't know if they're in the same scene ever, but he just never appears with her. So I don't know whether that's because he's not interested, because you've been talking about the ladies he tends to look at, or
Yeah.
what? I don't know, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. I mean, every other guy that's in this movie gets a look at her at least once, pretty much.
I don't know what no holes in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a bagel is a donut dipped in cement.
Oh, damn.
Mitch Cumstain.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Oh. Seriously, these lines are all things you can hear over and over again, and you're still freaking choking up over this shit. Everything
Absolutely.
about it. This is the type of comedy that is rewatchability factor. Like I still trip out over the even though we haven't gotten there, but that we'll just say that pool scene. Like,
Yep.
I still like everything about it, from duty to the falling of the guard, like everything about, or to the rehearsed scene. Everything about it's just freaking magical. It's all magic. And I'm like, how do you do comedy like this? Like, can you imagine? Like, there had to have been some really amazing chemistry for guys to just pull off shit like this, because you don't just do this stuff.
No,
You really don't.
But this is in, okay, Bill Murray, who's improv, and he's improv trained, and he was on Saturday Night Live. You have Chevy Chase, who was on Saturday Night Live, even though I don't find him funny, but that's my problem.
It depends.
You have Rodney Dangerfield, who is practically a vaudeville comedian. I mean, old school. All right. And then you have Ted Knight, who's been in comedies for probably most of his career, but he's never played a comedic character. He's always played a straight man. Think Bing Crosby with Bob Hope. Bing Crosby was always a straight man. He's a perfect straight man for this. This is actually more like a vaudeville, sort of humor than it is Monty Python or Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
But
it's like,
they
whose
got
line
the-
is it anyway?
but
Give us
Yes.
an idea from the crowd. Okay. Now go with that, guys.
and that's pretty much the school where a lot of the comics of Bill Murray's era came from. Second City Television was like that. Half of Saturday Night Live came from there. They were improv comedians. They were thrown something and made it funny. And that's why Bill Murray could do an entire character in an entire movie without having a single line of script to work from, and he's one of the funniest people in the movie. Because he was trained to do that. I mean, literally trained and practiced to do that. So you're right, Nick. This cast, including, as has been said, Ted Knight as Judge Smales, is an ensemble cast, and this doesn't work without that ensemble or something very, very close to it.
It was a baby root soul assassin, just for the record, no clarification.
The payday bar
It was a
might
baby
work
root.
too, I think,
Well, a payday bar, yeah. Even Snickers has got that light brownish tinge.
Yeah, but it's the
to-
lumpiness of the Baby Ruth that
Right.
sells a turd.
That sells it. Yeah.
And it's got peanuts in it. So.
No, it's called duty in this.
Right.
Duty.
But we've
Oh,
had
I was
we've had pools shut down before with the accents with kids in them. So because we have belong to a pool club, and pool is closed for the next 2 days. They don't drain the freaking pool out, but they've had some accidents where they got double the chlorine, and
they double the chlorine, and they turn up and they max out the filtering system. Yes.
Because
I was going to point.
My
I was
wife
gonna
was a
point out at the
lifeguard
beginning.
back in the 90s when we were in college, and she would talk about the little kids. They would always double up the chlorine after kids were in the pool because they knew they pissed in there.
Yep.
Well, we told kids at Boy Scout camp that if they peed in the pool, it would turn red.
Yeah, we used to do that too.
Yeah.
We'll know who did it.
That
Yeah,
reminds
we
me
know
of
who
the
did it,
South
yeah.
Park episode. Stand, drink the pee.
Or the Adam
And-
Sandler Grown Ups movie where they go to the water park and just
I fucking love
dye
that movie.
spreads out from
So
around them
stupid.
as they are all pissing.
Yeah,
No, that movie was just an excuse to spend a whole bunch of money for
yeah,
a
it
whole bunch
is.
of friends to be together
that's what
for.
he does. Sandler gets money to make movies with his best friends and do a vacation at the same time.
Yep.
Fucking
But
amazing.
I was gonna say, so at the begin, you can tell they tried to edit some of the language down quite a bit. It seems because, like, they have Spalding saying duty when they're on the first tee. He says like fart, and Judge yells at him language, and then he says double farts, and then in the background later, he's swinging and missing the ball every time, and he's like, asshole, son of a bitch. And they don't mention any of that, but double farts and duty are what he gets yelled at for.
Yes.
How's it going, Mr. Tickle Trunk? Nice to see you here. And it's
Oh,
okay
Tickle
if you're
Trunk's
late,
here.
man. I'm just glad you're here. And Darius has a very, very revealing comment. He says Twix has the wavy sphincter pinch checks of us. Oh my god.
The left Twix or the right Twix?
I have
Now
no
that
comment
you know
on
what
that.
Darius, thank you, because you know what, that makes me glad that I've never eaten a Twix. Now I never have to,
Mixed in between.
because I will only ever have that image in my head of Twix.
Oh man, so nasty.
It is. Okay, now we're gonna move from a golf country club to a yacht club, which is if there's, and I will say this, I was a sailor for many years, and I have to say that yacht clubs have really nice people in them. I don't meet many. I've never met many really nice people in a country club. They are the most snobbish, stuck-up people I've ever met. I call people who own yachts boat people because they show up on shore wearing really ripped out, cut off blue jeans, a polo, an ancient Izod polo shirt with 3 holes in it, docksiders and no socks, and a hat that looks like Nick Weiser found it in underneath the seat of his car after 11 years. and this is the guy that owns the $3 million boat out there in the harbor. So you can't judge people by people in around boats by the way they dress. Whereas at a place like this, Bushwood, oh hell, you can. Which is why Rodney's plaid jacket stands out so much. But there's a big class division in the yacht club coming up too. I'll talk about it then.
Yeah,
So you like seamen better than golfers?
Absolutely.
All right, here comes my favorite scene.
Wait a minute. I did that too well, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
My personal favorite scene in the movie. I mean, this is like the fact that we have everything happen at this pool. This is, I feel like, the most toxic scene of the movie.
It is,
in my opinion.
And Caddy's welcome 1 to 115.
1 to 115. Oh man!
On Caddy
Day.
On Caddy's Day. Yes,
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Oh yeah.
What a way to celebrate the caddies for 15 minutes.
Why's the lifeguard got one leg with the
maybe it's
sunblock
where
on?
the angle of the shade.
Is he shaving?
maybe?
Is he is he shaving there?
I think he's shaving.
I think he's shaving it.
He's
Yeah,
got
it looks
something
like-
in
this
his
is where you
hand. I
find that
think it's a
girl- Find
razor.
out it's a girl. The girl caddy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's the one that tries to pick up Dangerfield's
too
bag
many
at the
guys.
beginning.
The tough guy that smokes. I knew way too many guys like that when I was a kid.
Oh yeah. So did I. We had a large Italian population in my town in New Jersey. I knew plenty of guys like him.
Oh yeah.
They by high school they were already wearing gold chains. You name it. Yeah. And and they knew they were going to grow up to inherit the store on Main Street because 90% of Main Street in the town was owned by the Italians. They lived in tiny little houses and they owned all of Main Street. I'm like, there's a lesson in there, Scott. Think about it.
Well, hey,
Remember
Courtney,
it.
hope you feel better. Yep.
Shout out to Courtney.
It's Courtney.
Welcome.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey, Courtney.
How you doing?
Howdy,
Yeah.
Courtney.
Yeah.
Yes, how you doing?
There's the girl caddy.
There's the
Yeah.
reveal. Yep. Everyone's like, wait.
Here's
a
the
minute.
reveal.
The toxicity.
Yeah, lets the hair
was
down and then pulls the shirt up.
escalating
Yep, pulls-
here. And what I learned, God, she
Yep,
was
no,
actually,
don't show that.
She was, yeah.
I didn't. I didn't clip it for exactly that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, oh no.
That's why I get paid extra. Yep. Hopefully
Yep.
I
Game
don't
over,
clip
man.
anything bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, dudes. Dude, he looks like Owen Wilson.
He does look like Owen Wilson.
Wow.
He also looks like every single obnoxious lifeguard I ever did deal with at our club. Yeah.
Who did that earlier? Was that you, Red Shirt, that could do a really good Owen Wilson? Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, it was you.
Wow. Wow.
Probably not high enough.
Because I only do Chris Walken. Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Deleted scene.
Wow. Come on.
Yeah, the fun part about deleted scenes is sometimes you won't even hear him say wow because it's a shitty internet.
Oh, Anonymous is calling me a
Love
coward.
you, Steve.
If you could do walking, you have to learn more cowbell then.
Hey, Anonymous, you can blame me. You can blame me. I'll take the coward title. It's all me, dude. It's all me.
Yeah.
I'm the one you want, as they say in the movie. I'm the one you want.
This is a pretty toxic scene though, with a girl
Yeah.
pulling up the guy's.
She's trying to pull off his bathing suit.
Heated up
that-
tidy whities underneath though.
Dude, he had the frickin' he had like a frickin' like almost like an invisible Speedo on under that shit. Seriously, that shit was like oh,
It was a
oh,
jock
that-
strap.
It was a speedo.
It's
yep.
a jock strap.
Yep.
Oh. That's a Matt Morgan we've gotten hot and bothered about. Where's
Too bad
Handy
the
Randy?
song
Where's
Panama
Matt?
didn't come out in '79 because that song would be perfect for this movie when she comes walking into the pool.
Yep.
The blonde chick. Panama, you put your suit on.
And there's the that's the caddy, the girl caddy. Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yay!
Toxic, right?
Check out that crazy hair.
Yeah.
Dude, that's 70s hair.
Yeah.
That was
That's what-
prototypical 80s hair.
or 80s. Well, 1980. This was filmed in the 70s.
Right at the beginning, right at the edge of,
the prototype.
Prototypical 80s hair.
Well, look at that hair, dude. Look at that mane. Oh my God. So
Looks like Claudio Sanchez.
That thing is going to suck up some water right there.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was that 70s rock fan. I was just like, wow, dude, nice head of hair. I want to see a photo of him with hair. I gotta see it. Hopefully you're all right out there, 70s, wherever you are.
Yeah, in high school, my hair was almost as long as Culture Casinos is after he gets it cut.
At 30, so you had the Dutch boy look and everything.
Well, I had the the hair over the ears, just comb it that way. Yeah, I didn't do the Dutch boy. That I didn't have a bowl cut.
And where's Mads for this scene too? Right? Oh my God.
Yeah, oh my God, Mad would have been freaking. He would have Mad would have had a jerk off station over the scene.
Yeah,
he would have to go and take a shower break, and probably not even come back after this. I mean, he's got the man with the slick back hair, black underwear, and he's obviously he's in decent shape. He's athletic. He's got the right toned body for Mad.
The sunglasses.
I had three cousins who were cops in Norfolk, Virginia, which is a big Navy town. Mm-hmm. And I remember one of them when I was a kid referring to that bathing suit, which all of the sailors wore, as a squid suit, because they called enlisted sailors squids. And they were like, that was the instant mark of recognition on a beach in Virginia Beach or anywhere there, or Ocean View. That you're looking at an enlisted sailor there. They're the only people who wear Speedos.
Imagine
I love this shit. Watch
Maggie.
this shit.
Yeah, imagine being Maggie in this scene.
Yeah. The sunglasses here is my favorite part, when he hands him his sunglasses and the kid throws them into the shrubbery.
Yes.
They're all sucking in their guts.
Yes. None of them are breathing.
None of us have ever done that, right?
No, I never did that.
Right.
But it makes you wonder what the original storyline was, because like Danny and Maggie have already slept together.
Yep.
She's already, yelled at him a few times about Lacey. And then they have this scene where she just kind of looks at them like, not like angry, but like she's upset, but it's not like Noonan and her had a actual relationship.
No, this kid does a damn good job of sucking it up in the middle there.
Dude, right? No, seriously, that's impressive gut sucking.
Yep.
Seriously, that is like that's a cover up. And
this is the moment where I said, the song Panama. I wish it had come out.
Yeah, that would have worked. Yeah,
that would have been the perfect song for this scene.
Except the bathing suit's kind of dated now, but back then that was smoking.
Yep,
it's not quite Phoebe Cates.
Then WWF Attitude happened, and he realized how small time it was.
Well, I mean, bikinis were a thing back then, so that was fairly.
But that was different.
That was actually conservative for the day. But then again, remember where she is and who her uncle is.
Well, she's not going to go.
She's not going to show up in Brazilian tooth floss.
Right. Well, she's got to go off the diving board.
Right?
She's going off this high dive too. So
you're
losing your bikini
later.
Yeah, she'd be losing a bikini coming off of a 3-meter board. Yes,
and you can see the second they swap out the diver.
Look how red that ginger is. Look how red he is.
Yep.
Yeah, watch this.
Yep.
Swap.
They already swapped her. She gets to the end of the thing.
Yep.
That's her. That's her. And gone.
Yeah, because the woman that did that dive, I was a diver when I was 12. The woman who did that dive is a competitive diver.
Yeah.
Because that dive is a lot harder than it looks.
Look at this. Look for the splash.
No splash.
Very little
virtually
splash.
No splash. Yes.
That's a pro.
That's a pro. You got it. Or an Olympian, one of the two. Yeah. So, yeah, they swapped her out because I can tell you this. It took me a long time just to work. I was a diver on the 1-meter board. It took me a long time to work up the courage to actually dive off the 3.
The sunglasses scene. Here it is.
There it is. Hands in the sunglasses.
And then fucking just throws
wait for
him.
it.
Boom.
God.
Just tosses him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what frenemies are like, man. You're always fucking with one another.
Yep.
Yeah, because they never get to blows, right? You know, they
Yeah.
get
No.
and at the end they
Well,
respect
his
each other.
younger brother saved him from that actually escalating any further.
Yeah.
At the beginning, yeah.
At the beginning. But I love the fact that you know, the guy with the
This
sunglasses.
is crazy scene right here. Like
This
nobody would
is-
do
this is nuts.
This is insane.
This
But
took
I-
8 hours to film, and they all had like 2nd-degree sunburns.
Sunburn.
Oh my God, I'm
I've
not
had
surprised.
2nd-degree sunburn. Let me tell you, it sucks.
And that's one of my
Okay.
all-time favorite SNL skits. Sorry, Nick, is when they do the synchronized swimming
See,
with Dana
Martin
Carvey.
Short.
Have you guys ever seen Martin Short?
Martin
They
Short.
can't
I
swim when
don't
they're
swim
like-
well. He's got the floaties on
You
his
guys,
arms.
cool it.
Right.
Cut that out.
I want to mention how, once again, just like the subplot, this is a scene where, once again, to be fair, you could take it out of the movie and not change anything about the story. But
Yep.
once again, it's so entertaining that it's just like, okay, we have to keep this because what are the odds of getting something else like this happening? Like, just once again, there's
They're like standalone stories within the film.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you, yes,
Right.
There are their own little mini arcs. It's great.
And I think
Here
that
it is. Here it is. Hold on. It's coming up on the Baby Ruth scene.
Here we go.
Oh, if you also look to the water, I noticed on my rewatch, one of the guys in the pool was wearing their shoe.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And just to say
When they're
about
doing
this,
the
I mean,
leg thing, you can.
to your comment that these are standalone scenes, like little standalone stories. I think that was the problem they had when they went to start editing. They realized we don't have a story. We have a bunch of Saturday Night Live vignettes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Vignette is the word.
Yeah.
All right, hey Anonymous, take care. Thank
Well,
you
There it
for
is.
hanging
The shoe.
out.
There's the shoe.
Yes.
Ah!
There's the
Yep.
shoe.
But
And
the,
right
the
after
funny
this
part
comes
is
the
when they
Baby
go
Ruth.
upside down here.
Yeah.
So they
guy
shot
wearing
this
pants.
over and over and over, and they couldn't hear anybody yell "cut." So they were just sitting there, like they were staying under as long as they could until they just floated back up because they couldn't breathe anymore because they couldn't hear anybody yell "cut," and they didn't have a signal or anything because Harold Ramis had no idea what he was doing as a director. He was
No,
just
this is
like,
first
"All
time,
right."
man.
Oh man.
He was
And
learning as he was
And then
going.
comes the
Yep.
fall of the old guard, right? I
Yeah.
laughed so hard when this shit happened. Hey,
Yeah, that's zinc oxide on his leg. But
Yeah.
it looks like he was shaving it.
Shaving,
It
yeah.
does.
Yeah,
That was-
and it looked like he had a razor the first time you see him.
It did. Well, look at the
swimmers
stripe
do
on it.
shave. Yeah, swimmers
Well, and
do
he's all,
shave.
the other
yeah.
hair looks pretty leg looks pretty hairless.
Once again, another Mad Mardigan quality. Hairless man, shaving, in his underwear, just perfect for Mad. He fits all the check boxes of Mad
There it
Mardigan
is.
demographics.
There it is, the Baby Ruth.
Where's Handy Randy when we need him? And then the duty seen around the world, and in one case, bitten
In the
around
Jaws
the
music.
world.
I don't
Hell
think they could
yeah.
figure out a good excuse to get the Baby Ruth into the pool because she literally just takes it and tosses
Steals
it
and just
behind her.
tosses it. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you can't have
And
it.
then the other girl's just like, well, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Yes. But then I loved the play on the Jaws music.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaws theme. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Titties.
Oh
That's not
no!
titties. Don't play it
No.
again.
Don't play it again.
I know. I clipped that. Didn't I?
Oh, good.
No, there was
Varmin,
nothing there. Yeah.
Varmin Poontank for $5 says this is fast becoming one of the top Toxic Tuesdays. I told this girl on St. Patty's Day, "Hey girl, the last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it." Well, thank you for the $5, Varmint. I would like to know who that actually was, but thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. Yes, this is the scene heard. Yes, it really was with the intensity of the music and everyone going, ah, look at that thing travel too. Actually, like if you didn't know, you could have swore that was an actual freaking turd.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just
Go forward, go forward, go
Unbelievable.
forward.
Yep. I'm just gonna try to skip and try to get to the spot working. Yep.
I was gonna say, should I just just fade off?
Yeah, I got to go to my other screen just to.
Yeah,
sorry,
no, but we can see at the
Sorry.
bottom. We can see at the bottom, but obviously, like everyone's partying their asses off.
I just got to get to this.
And everyone's all mayhemic and going nuts, and then
just so you guys know, I'm watching the actual movie as we go.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, cool.
At exactly
I
the
love
same
this movie
rate
so
as what
much.
ours is playing.
I would just play it and watch it over and over again. I love this fucking movie.
Yeah. TZ, that's all because I've got a very, very lucky following watching the streams. That's really all it is, man. I've been very lucky. Every stream in the last 2 months, people have just been throwing in the dough. So I appreciate all of you for doing that. Hey, there's Tom. How's it going, Tom?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Salute you too, sir.
I know you've had a busy day yourself, sir. So hopefully you're well. And I know we have had quite a hell of a time talking about the shack of the caddy here.
Yeah, we're up to the Baby Ruth scene if you want to join us.
And I'm doing my best to pull in random trivia from the movie for you.
And just another reason not to pay any attention to IMDb critics or professional critics in general. I made the mistake of reading one review of this movie on IMDb.
Oh God!
And the person said, "Well, it's worth watching for a few funny moments." And I'm like, "Your sense of humor has atrophied. This movie is full of funny moments." It may not be the best edited or best directed movie. It was his first movie directing.
I find a lot of young people today, Red Shirt, just don't have senses of humor. They don't understand comedy at all.
I agree, and I have to say, I feel incredibly sorry for them because most of the time, life is absurd, and people like George Carlin made a living off of pointing out the absurdity.
Just to show this off real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, not bad.
This would have been the perfect place to have pulled off the joke that they did in Austin Powers and said, like, he takes the bite and he's like, not bad, a little nutty. They really should have gone there, and instead Austin Powers did it years later.
Yes,
with the fat bastard stool sample.
Right.
Oh man.
Well, Harold Ramis said that this movie's like a fine wine because when it first hit TV, like the old printed TV guides had it at 1 star. Then 10 years later, it was at 2 stars. Then 10 years later, on the 30th anniversary, it was at 4 stars. So people appreciated it a lot more.
Well, as cinema caught up with these critics, suddenly they realized later how good it was. Because they were trying to gauge it off of the time, and it's like, you don't do that. Gauge it off of the film.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have to pull up who the critic was that absolutely destroyed it. It was one of the old TV critics like Roger and Ebert, but it wasn't them. It was the guy with the crazy hair, huge
Gene
mustache.
Shalit is the one you're talking about. I remember when he did it.
He ripped it apart.
Oh, he hated it? Yeah.
But Gene, but if it wasn't Shakespeare...
I didn't like this movie at all. Yeah. I'm Gene Shalit for the Today Show.
He's probably the only movie critic, and I'm old enough to remember both him and Siskel and Ebert. I remember the Golden Turkey Awards brothers when they had a show. I forget his name, but yeah, Siskel and Ebert. I agreed with Gene Siskel most of the time. Roger Ebert was a pretentious asshat. And this the other guy you mentioned, and I never listened to him because he was pure New Yorker, and I'm like, well, if he likes it, I don't. I'm from New Jersey. Screw New York.
Yeah. Now I can tell you because I was a critic in Illinois for Octopus Magazine. It was a regional alternative news magazine, and because I was in a town that Roger Ebert frequented. And I would go to a lot of movies and I'd have lunch with them on a regular basis. And we went to see during the Cyberfest in '97, we went to see the 70 millimeter print of 2001: A Space Odyssey because
that's incredible.
The town we're in is the town that's mentioned in the book of where HAL was created, Champaign-Urbana at the University of Illinois. Right. So we at the Virginia Theater, we were showing it. And so I was his guest, and we went together, and we had gotten subs from the sub shop. And as he's walking up the stairs in front of me, his fat ass stumbles. And he all of a sudden grabbed that sandwich to protect it, like it was a football or a baby. And it was the funniest moment of my life. And he heard me behind him snicker. I went when he did it, and he turned and looked at me. And I said, "I'm assuming the sandwich is safe."
He dropped my. Oh, I love that he drops the. Oh, well,
we're safe. Yep.
No, hold on.
I didn't.
Gary, I do have a question. I do a little bit of a trivia question for you then, because you met Roger Ebert. You saw him.
I hung out with him. I pissed him off on a regular basis.
Oh, well, good. Well, okay. Did he ever like a comedy?
I don't think he had a sense of humor.
That's what I thought.
Because I would crack jokes and he never fucking understood my jokes. But I went after him because that movie came out that same year. God, it's the film noir with the two women, and it's a lesbian characters, and it's your classic film noir. And it's Bound is the name of the film, Bound.
Oh yeah, Bound.
And we were at lunch, and there was another critic there from another magazine, and we're all sitting there at this ice cream parlor downtown Urbana. And he's just going on about this film. I said, "Are we talking about the same film? I saw that. There was nothing new in it. The only thing that was new was that they added that the characters were gay. That was it. There was nothing new in that story to really get excited about." Mm-hmm. And he got butthurt when I said that. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Wow. Well, I mean, are you saying that you review films based off of your politics or off of the quality of the film?" And that was really one of the last times we hung out, because I really pissed him off with that.
You tested him.
I bet you did.
But God rest his soul, because he was still a nice guy. He always answered my emails when we would talk.
I loved his reviews, and it's such a shame what happened. Unfortunately, he had cancer in the end and really suffered. But I always loved Roger Ebert's reviews, and didn't always agree with him, but he was a critic where like 80% of the time I agreed with. Back in the day when
I was right around 70%.
Yeah, we didn't have shill media where you knew like the guys would say like they felt it. In now it's like all these critics are most of them you can't even trust when they review a movie. So
back when I was a kid, Rex Harrison and Gene Shalit were just two hack reviewers who were just famous. They were famous.
Yeah.
Oh, what the frick?
Uh-oh.
Really? He liked the Ben Affleck movie Jiggly because he thought J-Lo's speeches were well written.
Yeah, well,
Jiggly?
Remember, Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel hated Blade Runner when it first came out in 1982, turned right around in 1992 and raved about how great a film and misunderstood film it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember the name. Do you remember Michael Medved?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, remember
I met him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. I had his paper. I had the paperback version of the Golden Turkey Awards, where he and his brother gave out the booby prizes for every character they could think of. And all I remember from it is that the worst Lifetime Achievement Award for Worst Actor went to Richard Burton, because he was a great actor who overacted too many times. And the Lifetime, the worst movie of all time at the time they published it was Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yeah.
And deleted scenes, despite his opinions, we can't all be perfect on Jiggly. I do agree that it is still ultimately a problem that we don't have a critic like that. I just, Jiggly, come on. I still like
it's just Geely. It's just Geely.
Geely,
and this is one of the greatest.
Don't say Jiggly.
I don't know.
This is a talk show. Go ahead and say Jiggly.
Jiggly. This scene is like everyone tries to always, like when you're playing golf too. It's like you just say these lines over and over. It's like,
you write a story.
Champion, 495 yards.
Yeah.
He's gonna take about a 2-iron. Oh, he got a lot out of that one.
It's
in the hole. It's in the hole.
Flowers.
He good out of that.
Any groundskeeper would be fired for this, but I fucking love this moment.
I know it's
assistant
wonderful.
groundskeeper.
Right.
Yeah, assistant groundskeeper. Yeah, but I
He's
mean,
hoping to work up to it in 6 years.
Yeah, I'm hoping to work up to it in about 6 years.
And Mark,
Yeah,
you
it's
see
just
my
it
messages,
is
right?
again. That to me sounds exactly like Bill Murray went, "Oh, geraniums," or whatever the hell those things were. Can somebody get me a weed whip?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, here we go. I'm going to fantasize about being in the Masters because I love the Masters tournament. So, this will be easy for me. And then he goes off on this whole thing with as Carl about,
Yeah.
the Cinderella story.
Murray came up with the idea of swinging at the flowers that look like balls, and Ramus said, "Hey, when you played sports as a kid, did you ever picture yourself doing something great in that sport?" And Murray turned to him and was just like, "Yeah, I got you. We're good." And then he just went and did it.
Dude,
That's why it's so awesome.
scene.
Yep.
And here's the bishop.
I love
Yes.
this. I'm trying to find the line where he says, "Oh, what's the line?" He says, "I don't think the heavy stuff is coming down for a while now."
Yeah. I don't think the heavy
What do you
stuff's going to
think?
be coming down for quite a while.
Yeah. What do you think? Should we turn back in? No.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
back
Maybe we
to
should
back.
go now. No, God would never interrupt the greatest golf game of my life. And then he misses the putt.
I think
At
Bud
some
Martin
point,
said
the
he knew
bishop says,
bishop.
"I am infallible."
I think it
This dude
D-Bud
was in
before-
10 Commandments.
Yeah, but D-Bud was saying that his
Yeah, but this
either his
scene
uncle or someone knew
when
that-
the lightning
knew this guy.
strikes, fucking kills me. Because Bill Murray just leaves him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's funny. He
Wait a
doesn't
minute.
die. He's in the movie later.
Yeah. I'm
At the
pretty
bar.
sure Bill Murray poked him.
Yeah.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he
And,
pokes
you know,
him, yeah.
Like,
poked
kicks
him
him
with
or
a
pokes him or something.
Pokes him with a golf club's handle. It goes, he ain't moving, and proceeds to walk off.
Oh, rat farts. He yells, oh, rat farts.
Man.
Yeah. Rat farts.
Yes.
I'm infallible, young fella.
Yeah, he pokes
that's
him.
how Jack
Oh
gets
my god,
mad.
yeah, he pokes him. That's funny. Because I'm watching it while we're talking. That's funny as shit, dude.
It's like, oh, no, he's gone. I'm out of
There's
here.
the frog in the hole that jumps out and the ball
Yep.
goes
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
And then he misses the one putt and curses God and gets struck by lightning.
Yells out,
Yes.
rat farts.
Rat
Right
farts.
here, right here. This is great.
Oh, rat farts.
And the music is so 10 Commandments too. 'Cause
Yes,
I
yeah.
didn't
it is.
mention that.
Yeah, you'd expect Charlton Heston to be playing it.
I actually thought he had died at that scene. Like, I thought he was toasted. I'm like, oh shit.
Normally he
I
would have
did
been
too.
dead.
I've always thought he was dead.
I think the cut they didn't really care. They just brought him back later. I mean, he's soaking wet later and drinking at the bar, and he's like,
Yeah,
"There
continuity
is,
is not the biggest thing in this movie.
No.
No.
and he can't remember. We can't remember anything. Yeah,
But I got a funny golf line for you. I think it was Lee Trevino.
Mm-hmm.
These when I was a kid, and he was famously struck by lightning on a course, almost died. Took him straight to the hospital on the PGA Tour, and he came back. And the first thing, of course, the sports news people, sports broadcasters wanted to do was interview him about how it happened and what was going through his mind. Of course, how did you feel when the lightning hit you? That's the question all those idiots ask. And he said, well, I only have one thought, one mistake that I made. What's
You
that?
baboon, you beast.
He said, I should have had a 2-iron. I should have chosen a 2-iron. Not even God can hit a 2-iron.
I always love true golf jokes. Like, does anybody remember when Jack Nicholson, the actor, took a golf club to the dude's windshield over a road rage incident back in the 90s?
Oh, but
No.
It was
Look at
funny
this
as hell. And
shit.
Dennis Hopper, who is one of Nicholson's best friends, said that he was on Letterman. He's like, yeah, I called him. And I said, hey, Jack, did you use a wood? And Nicholson replied, what, do you think I'm crazy? I used a 5-iron.
You remember W.C. Fields, right?
Oh, of course.
So W.C.
My little
Fields,
chickadee.
yeah, go away, kid, you bother me. And
Lots of cartoons.
yes,
Okay.
and so he, hang on, if you can pause this for a second.
Yeah,
so this is a funny anecdote again, funny golf anecdote. Bob Hope told this story in his book also. So he did a pro-am golf tournament every year. It was kind of famous. And W.C. Fields showed up as the amateur to be paired up with a golf pro, and they were going to play, I don't know, best ball or something, whatever they did for these tournaments. And so there's a large crowd. I mean, these used to be televised. You could watch.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah, they were big deals, and they were all for charity. And so the pro teed off, and he went 225 yards down the fairway, and then W.C. Fields steps up with a flourish, and he puts down his ball and his tee, and he takes an enormous swing and whiffs.
And whiffs.
Misses completely, never touches the ball.
Well, it doesn't count then, yeah.
But he doesn't look down. He immediately looks down the fairway, raises his hand over his eyebrows as though he's watching a drive land, and turns to the crowd and says, one of my better shots, and proceeds to hand the club back to the caddy and walk off down the fairway and drop 200 yards out. And everybody in the crowd just about fell over laughing. That is a mulligan
with those things.
Yeah, that's a mulligan. Let me tell you.
Amen.
Oh, here comes Chevy's best line in the movie.
Oh, I love this. I freaking.
Well, we got a pool and a pond. The pond would be good for you.
Pond would be good for you. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, how could someone say that it only had a few funny moments? Like every scene in this movie.
How could you possibly? Yeah, how can you possibly say that? And think about it for a second. I mean, you're just if you're Chevy Chase delivering that line to Bill Murray, and you and he have bad blood.
Yeah,
pond would be good for you. You got to realize, like you've just heckled a stand-up comedian, and you're about to get your ass handed to you.
Yep.
This your place, Carl?
That was either balls or stupidity on Chevy's part to even utter that line.
They said, from all accounts, they worked together like true professionals in the one scene that they were ever in together.
Bingo. They did do the one. They were professional about it.
They got it together.
But they did not want to do anything else together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then oddly years later,
people don't say that. People don't say that to your face, as far as you know.
No.
People think I'm an idiot or something, you know?
Oh, that's not true as far as you know.
It's 36 holes in the afternoon. It's stoned.
Actually, my favorite Chevy Chase line in the movie is when Judge Smell said, "You should play with us sometime. Doctor's been club champion for several years, and I'm no slouch." And he says, "Oh, don't sell yourself short, Judge. You're a tremendous slouch."
Yeah, that's a great line.
I love backhanded compliments, man.
I just love the pool and the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a pond. We got a pool. The pond is good for you.
Yes, good for you.
But first he's like, so what is your address there, Ty?
2 jar.
2?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and like you wonder if Murray's like thinking of doing this to Chevy during the scene.
Yep.
Like, right? Like he'll never play again. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So good.
I know, right?
And you don't even have to like golf. Like, I'm an insurance agent, so I like golf. I mean, that's kind of what we do. That's how we market and, do stuff. So I'm constantly golfing, and all we do is quote this.
Yeah.
All day long.
Absolutely.
I want to know that. I'm glad you mentioned that, bro. I think this is something we should definitely entertain as a topic about this movie, because I see it as a comedy first, sports movie second. I mean, do you object to that? Do you see it as a sports movie and comedy both simultaneously, or do you see sports first, comedy second? Where are you at with that?
Sports is what they're using for the
To
for the
drive the
comedy.
story, yeah.
Right.
There's no there's no Cinderella story about somebody actually playing golf in this. I mean, the original script it was about the Caddy Championship, so it originally was a sports story, but it turned into a comedy that has sports as the theme.
Oh,
I don't think it's a sports movie.
The cavalry has arrived.
Hey, we're saved.
Hello.
You feeling all right, Tom?
Oh, I took a nap.
It sounds like you needed it. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm okay. How about you guys?
We're good.
We're having fun. This movie is so good.
This has been a very fun talk. So we got past the duty. We got past Smales, seeing his niece. Like we saw a lot of lovely things and dodged a few bullets along the way. We had the stream nuked at one point. We came back up. It's been a good one. But go ahead. Why don't you have the floor and talk about this?
Oh, this is a classic comedy. I mean, it's the beginning of modern comedy in a way. Besides, I mean, Animal House was kind of there, but like this was, 30 years of comedies were built on Caddyshack.
Yep.
Everything from this to Revenge of the Nerds, all the way up through, like Happy Gilmore to you name it. Like they all began here. Like the snobs versus the slobs. This was the quintessential 80s comedy formula.
The old Billy Baroo.
And they got it right. Yep.
Billy.
What was
lightning in a bottle?
Oh, I was gonna ask. Tom, my favorite scene was the pool scene, because there was the rehearsal of the dance, there's the falling of the lifeguard, and then there's of course the duty. What is your favorite scene in this?
I think my favorite stuff is between Carl and the gopher. It always has been. These two. This is such a Looney Tunes cartoon in the middle of this movie. It is a live action. They knew exactly what they were doing, right? Like I can imagine, because they talked about how difficult it was to get a lot of the studio to kind of understand what they were up to here until the movie came out. But like, that's the thing, is on paper, I'm sure this movie doesn't read nearly as good as when you watch it, and it's just one of those movies where it went through so many different writings and phases of getting done, and it had a lot of people working on it. It's definitely the brainchild of like Doug Kenny and Harold Ramis and all those guys really coming together. And this is what they used to do in the summertime, pretty much, is caddy for all these rich folks. And this is just kind of stories I'm sure they all have of fucking off and, getting in trouble and all that kind of shit. Because, we kind of forget that the true stars in the story is about these kids who are the caddies, right? We always talk about, Bill Murray and Rodney Dangerfield and Chevy Chase. And they are technically the stars, but Danny is the character we're following through the story, really.
You're rooting for him, yep.
Well,
He's the underdog.
Well, it's both, Tom, because it's Danny in the caddy tournament, which was the original story that I understand,
right,
as I understand it, and then Carl and the groundhog and the gopher, which were added in well after they started filming, because they didn't think the caddy tournament story would carry the movie. So it's both, which is how they managed to bring in all the other comedians, the comic actors, who. We were just talking before you got here. We were talking a while ago about, could this movie have worked if it had just been a caddy tournament without Rodney Dangerfield, without Chevy Chase and those people? And I don't think it would have. It would have been struggling to compare itself to Porky's. This was elevated by the fact that it was two different stories. And by the way, Nick, for about this being a sports movie, I think this is quotable for golfers, and I'm no longer a golfer because I gave it up. I just watched this movie instead. is golf. One professional
Hold
golfer.
up, we gotta go back to that scene, Mark.
One professional golfer once said, "Golf is not about your great shots. Golf is all about what you do after a bad shot. Because if you can salvage yourself and your position and get back on course to the pin from a bad shot, you're going to keep your score good. Whereas if you melt down, like Judge Smales did after missing the putt, or the priest did after missing the putt, and gets zapped by lightning, if you melt down on a golf course, you're screwed. This will ruin your next 3 holes. Ask me how I know.
Like going on tilt in poker.
Yes,
that's what she said.
Yeah. So this movie is not about being a great golf movie. That's Tin Cup. Watch that one. That's a great golf movie.
That's a comedy.
And that's a comedy, but it is about a guy who dares to dream, and when he makes it, he refuses to compromise, and nobody can believe what he does to end his round. Yes, and now the explosions. But yeah, this movie is cathartic for a golf.
Someone was saying you could C4 in the 80s. Is that true? I wouldn't think so.
No, you couldn't just go. You had to go to Lebanon to get that in the 80s.
Yeah, I would think C4 would be pretty tough to get. Yeah,
it was.
So the background story the background story that I found out about that scene. So the golf course, of course, they did not want them blowing up their freaking golf course.
No.
So they sent them to dinner, all the golf course employees and, everybody who is part of the golf course. They sent them to dinner, and then they just blew it up. So the golf course is right next to Fort Lauderdale's airport. So they had to shut down filming like every 5 minutes because a plane would go over. But when they did the explosions, a pilot actually reported to the watchtower that a plane had gone down over the golf course. So they had all kinds of issues with this.
I bet. Well, that explains, if it was next to Fort Lauderdale's airport, that explains why everybody outdoors is sweating their asses off.
Yep. It was
that Florida weather
in August.
Yeah. Well, they were doing this in Florida because they originally wanted this movie is made to look more like an Illinois type of thing. Like, I know the suburbs that they're talking about because I've lived by the suburbs. They're talking about towns like Skokie and Wilmette, which are pretty like suburban towns, even though Skokie's like basically right next to Chicago. It's still very suburban-ish looking. And they were trying to aim for that vibe, but obviously, there's parts where it definitely has its Florida-ish coming around, but that's what they're aiming for with the vibe here. And obviously, it's because they're in Florida, they probably end up sweating their faces. And that's why Rodney Dangerfield he probably lost 20 pounds.
He doesn't look very fat in the film. But who brought up the lawsuit with Bill Murray?
Action Com chat did. Action Com,
because it did happen. He sued Caddyshack too. When it went to court, they settled out of court. They ended up just taking it away, and he got paid
probably because Bill always liked to put it in his contracts that he gets like money from all the sequels, even if he's in them or not. He did that.
No, this was from he helped create the
Gopher.
The Gopher. And when they used it in the second film, he sued him.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know the original one was just like a puppet and it didn't work real well.
It was a goofy sock puppet.
There's actually
I'm
that one of the more famous images of Bill Murray that's always on the back of the box is one of the cut versions with the fucking puppet that they showed. It's really bad looking.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
You can see the original puppet in that one shot, but yeah.
I'm over on Warner Brothers Entertainment Wikipedia page or wiki page. The Gopher in the second film, as in the first film, an animatronic Gopher was used in Caddyshack 2. This time, instead of tittering, the Gopher was able to speak. His voice was provided by Frank Welker.
Yeah.
Because of Bill Murray's involvement in the creation of the original Gopher for the first film, Murray sued the producers of the film during post-production. Murray and the producers settled out of court for an undisclosed sum. So there you go.
That's the one. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yep. That's the original puppet, the hand puppet. They cut all that stuff out and they put in because I remember Ramis talking about how expensive that fucking gopher was in 1980.
Well,
Yes.
they got the guy from Star Wars to do it.
Yeah,
The guy who
Dykstra,
did
I
all the
think it
stuff
was,
in
yeah.
Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it actually
Phil
ended up like
Tippett.
someone was the
Was it
70s
Tippett?
was saying, or
Yeah, Phil
who was, someone was saying that before that that actually works for the movie, right? If you had a perfect CGI gopher, then that would.
Well, in the second one, they
when-
go all out with him. I mean, he's got all kinds of gimmicks and things that he does in the second one. That's where I actually like the gopher stuff in the second movie more than the first film, even though Bill Murray, of course, is 10 times funnier than Dan Aykroyd. They just give the gopher a whole lot more to do in that second movie. Like, especially when he breaks into the banquet and he starts eating the shit right off the table and all that stuff. Like, as a kid, that was my favorite bits because
See,
I'm a fucking kid. But as an
Yeah.
adult now, of course, the first film is far, 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 far superior, and the second film is junk. But I do appreciate all the elements they put in with the gopher because it just they went that little extra mile.
Yeah,
It felt like.
Aykroyd's character was just not very good at all.
no. Well, Tom,
he wasn't likable. The shot here of I'm watching it right now during the explosions of Dan Aykroyd watching that ball teetering on the edge of
Right on the edge.
going
that was
in.
so awesome.
Brian Doyle Murray there.
Brian Doyle.
Yeah, God, he looks
Yeah.
so much like
But
his brother.
yeah, Tom, I haven't seen the second movie, but I made the point earlier. To me, the fact that the what little animatronics or hand puppet or whatever they had for the gopher in this makes it look so goofy, so ridiculously fake. Actually fits with this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just so over the top silly.
which
Yes,
is funny.
it's silly.
I showed you guys my gopher last week. Like, they've basically been able to
Yeah, I'm still having
do
to
the
see a
same thing they
therapist
did
after
then
seeing
for
your
next to
gopher.
nothing now. But like, yeah, that
Right.
second film, they really put a lot into that gopher. Like, he's all over doing stuff. And
Right.
yeah.
Did you even hear me, Tom?
Which part?
I said I still have to see a therapist after you showed me your gopher.
Of course.
Speaking of really putting it in, they used way too much explosive. They ended up getting the numbers wrong, and they used like 10 times more explosive than
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
That's why those explosions are so freaking massive.
And Bill Murray
Well, that explains
jumps.
why a
When he
pilot
jumps. I'm like, holy shit. I think he jumped for real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that explains why a pilot reported a downed plane on the
Yep.
golf course.
Fairway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason they chose this golf course, Nick, you were talking about it's supposed to look like Chicago.
They
Rolling
wanted
Hills
it to be
Club.
they wanted it to be a very Illinois.
This was the
suburban.
only course they could find that they could use that did not have palm trees in Florida.
I was going to mention that. Like, how did they find a golf course in Florida that doesn't have a single freaking palm tree on it?
That's why they ended up shooting here. They went
Yeah.
to like 200 golf courses and
Yep.
could not find anything that worked.
Yep.
And
why
this
were they-
one
one
had no
shot
palm
that you
trees.
just went
Is-
by that had swamp moss hanging out of the tree.
It's all about that Midwestern vibe they're trying to get.
Yep.
Why did they shoot in Florida? Was it like a tax credit or just
To get as
cheaper, or-
far away from LA as possible because they knew they would get shut down if the people in LA knew what was going on
Yep.
this movie set.
Well, with all the
Okay.
actual explosions going on.
Oh,
know,
God,
the illicit,
dancing gopher at the end. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
The people on this movie were almost as crazy and partying as crazy as John Belushi did during the Blues Brothers, where basically they took a page out of the old Marx Brothers movie productions and they assigned a person from the crew, essentially an assistant producer, to keep track of John.
To spy.
So that when he needed to be on camera, for a shot, they knew where he was so they could drag him back and stick him in front of the camera.
They lost him
Because-
once during Blues Brothers.
Yeah, they lost him once. But
That's a hilarious story. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rich.
Yeah.
but they did if I remember correctly, they finally assigned somebody to just be his minder. And
the
the
personal
and-
minder, right? Yeah.
And the Marx Brothers had that. The company very quickly learned with the Marx Brothers, if you're gonna have 4 Marx Brothers in this movie, you need 4 assistant producers whose only job is to keep track of them and their schedule for filming, and make them show up for their assigned shot.
Dude, look at
Because
those
otherwise
holes.
they were never around.
Yeah.
They must have
That's-
been pissed when they
that's
came back to
actually-
the golf course. Holy
Is
crap.
that real? Because that looked like matte painting to me.
That looks
I
real.
think that's fake.
It
I'm
looks
not
matte
sure,
painting to
but
me.
they did have to pay
Well,
a
Industrial
crap
Light
ton
and
to the
Magic
golf
did some of the
course.
effects in this, didn't they?
That looks like a matte painting, and they just had smoke burning on
Smoke.
the ground. Yeah,
And they had built mounds that they blew up too in certain areas.
it could be real though. I don't know. Yeah,
They
Well,
had
if
to
they
pay
used-
a ton to
if
that
they-
golf course.
If they used 10 times the explosive they needed, that might be close to real.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Could be, yeah.
since we're nearing at the near end of this amazing,
I think that's the fake hill there.
Right.
The
Yeah.
fake hill. Yeah,
That one is,
And-
yeah.
And keep in mind, Hollywood explosions, as we probably all know from Mythbusters, are mostly gasoline. To give it a nice big fireball and smoke plume, and it's really dramatic on camera. If you ever watch those guys
It
blow
was John
something,
Dijkstra that did the effects for this.
I was right, motherfucker. I said that.
No, for this one, no, he did the visual effects.
but yeah, if you watch when they blow something up with an actual straight high explosive on Mythbusters, any of the reruns, it's all you see is a shockwave and shit flying in all directions. There's no flame. It's just boom and whoosh. And that's about it.
You need the gas for the.
You need
cool
the
effect, yeah.
gasoline, yes, to make it look like something.
Right.
And don't try that at home, kids.
Do not try that at home, and don't make whatever the hell it is they made with aluminum powder and whatever else it was at home. No, don't do
Don't
that.
give them the recipe.
Yeah, we had.
Well, it's only one of the things, and besides which, if you don't know the proportions, you can't make black powder either.
Holy sheep, Brahma Bull ever she's like the bald culture casino. Dude,
I don't know if that's good or bad.
well, he's part of the Dix division, so he's our whore. So
I'm having fun though.
Oh, he's having fun, all right.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen anybody on more streams than Tom.
We had some kids in the neighborhood who were going to copy Kiss, and they were trying to steal gasoline cans, and one of the parents found out, but they were going to make take all the gas cans from all the lawnmowers and put them into a container and blow them up. It was like, and they told me about it. It's like, thank God it never happened, because it would have been a Kiss reunion gone wrong. I mean,
oh yeah.
Oh, when I was like 8 years old, I found a mortar on July 5th that hadn't exploded. So I took it and cracked it on the driveway and just spread it out. Then I went and got a match, and I walked up to it.
Hey, everybody! Guys,
Oh,
we're
man.
all gonna get laid.
We're all gonna get laid.
Yes.
Yeah, one of my childhood best friends, he put gasoline in a Folgers coffee can in the garage, and went looking around the tools and stuff for something to light it with. There's nothing, so he had to go look in the house. And he rummaged through the house for a little bit, goes back out. I'm across the street at Jim's house, my other childhood best friend, and we're walking over, and all of a sudden we see this bright flash come from the garage, and Mike comes walking out with no fucking eyebrows or eyelashes, and the front of his hair gone.
Yep. Yeah, you let that gasoline
It's
evaporate
a
too
fume.
long.
It's the fumes.
It's the fumes that blow up. Yep.
Oh,
did he get a crew cut?
I
After
got to
that?
get him on the show to tell that story, the whole story.
That would be fun. But yeah, that's another one you don't try at home, kids. Don't mess with gasoline. It's
don't
very
screw around.
the liquid is bad. The vapors are worse, much worse.
Well, when I was EMS out in Virginia, in Stafford County, we would give classes showing, and we would say, "Don't try this at home." We would put out a fire that was put in a kitty litter box, and we'd put it out with gasoline because the liquid would cover it before the fumes could catch fire.
Right.
And it was just a nifty little trick that our best fireman did. I didn't do it. I was a paramedic, but I was like, "Fuck, that's cool."
Yeah.
Well, I guess since we're at that point, Gary, why don't you tell us your scores on this?
My score is a lot like Soul Assassins on this one. I completely agreed with him. 10 for 10 for toxicity, man. This is a great toxic film.
Okay.
And he gives it 12 out of 10 for greatness. And 5 out of 5 for Baby Ruth's for being hilarious, because it's true. But I really do. This is really it's one of those films I own, and I break it out every once in a while, and it's in my top 20 films of all time.
That's tall order for Gary. Nice. Okay, killer. Awesome. Red shirt.
I'm going to give this. I can't quite give this a 10 for my 1 to 10 rating on the film, because there are other comedies, and I've been here talking about at least 1 or 2 of them, that I cannot imagine being improved. This could have been improved. It was improved a lot based on where it started. So I'm going to give him a 9.5. I'm going to give him 9.5. That's pretty damn good. As far as toxicity goes, this is at least a 9.5, possibly a 10, because I'm not sure I can think of a character in this film that isn't toxic at one point or another. So 9.5 to 10, somewhere in there.
All right. Tom.
This is definitely in the top 5 comedy films of all time. It's a cast that probably hasn't been rivaled until Ghostbusters.
It was perfect casting.
I mean,
yeah,
just firing on all cylinders, lightning in a bottle. The second film proves that.
And lightning in a bishop.
It's one of the few times you're ever going to see Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd together. So, I can't say how much I love the film, because it's such a perfect comedy to me. So I got to give it 10 out of 10 on the toxicity level, though. It definitely, even some of the women in the film are toxic. So
Lacey alone,
so definitely in that higher range, 7 to 8, definitely.
All right. Killer, dude. Awesome. Mark.
Oh, this is like one of my all-time favorite movies, and just watched this. I don't know if I can say hundreds of times, but it's like one of those. It's Blues Brothers or this movie. There's like a rotation of your buddy movies when you're gonna hang out and watch a movie, drink some beers, and eat a lot of pizza, which I know you like doing, Nick. So this is one of those classic. This is in the top 5. Comedies and quotable and just great time. Every scene is gold in this movie. And Bill Murray, what a fucking treasure. He's just so awesome. But then you got Ted Knight. I don't think the movie works without Ted Knight and Dangerfield giving those great.
You were right.
He's the antagonist for every character.
Yeah. So it pulls it all together. It's just you don't get many movies like to get a movie like this today. I can't think of a movie that's this good. Recently. So and God, is just so lucky that it all worked out, and they were able to pull it together, right? Because I don't think that first story would have worked as well. So I'm giving this like a 9.8. And toxicity, like you said, the women are toxic, the Baby Ruth is toxic, the gopher's toxic, the weed is toxic, even the grass is toxic. What's not, the puking in the Porsche. So I give it like a 9 on toxicity.
I forgot about the puking scene.
The puking in the Porsche.
Yeah. That is so good.
It's like every scene is something like there's a highlight to every scene. But that Baby Ruth is just like
that. And I think the best burn in the film is that damn hat scene.
And the hat too. The hat.
And the
hat. Yes.
Oh, the hat.
Looks good on you.
Yeah. Like whenever you're near a pool in the summer, it's like you always make a joke like, "Who's got the Baby Ruth to throw?"
Yeah, who's got the Baby Ruth?
Well, we're waiting.
We're waiting. Yes. I've used that meme.
Yep. So all-time classic.
Yep.
2 thumbs up.
You'll have nothing and you'll like it.
I want a cheeseburger. I want a hamburger. I want a milkshake. I want some potato chips.
You may even bring up Ted Knight. That guy. Talk about comedic genius. Because he knew what he was doing. He was playing the heavy, and he did it with such panache and such perfection that he is always overlooked in this film. People constantly forget to bring him up when they talk about the comedians, right? And they forget how great of a comedian he is. Just go back and look at his work on Mary Tyler Moore, his voice work, all the stuff that he's done over the years. He's very overlooked in the film a lot of times.
Yeah, his role as Ted Baxter.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, most people just kind of forget he's there, right?
I
Super Friends.
I agree with you, Tom. I made the point early on in our discussion that this was his greatest comedic role ever, and he was playing a straight man.
Yep.
And
Well, he's
without him,
villain.
the comedy doesn't work.
Well, he's technically the villain of the film.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's the antagonist. He's the villain. He's everything everybody else pushes against, and he's the core of the movie. He's the man. He's the rock. And without him, there is no movie. There is no. Well, there may be a movie, but there's no comedy.
Nope.
Because you know Abbott and Costello aren't funny when when Abbott doesn't say anything.
All right, Mr. Grant Gregory, you must as soon as the stream is over, you're watching Caddyshack because
it's on Netflix right now.
I can't believe.
Oh man, it's on Netflix. Yes,
yeah.
That's where I watched it. Go see
Only
it.
Until the 31st, though. It's off of Netflix on the 31st of this month.
He's got to watch it after the show is over.
Yeah.
I mean, inconceivable. How could you have not seen
It's
that?
pretty readily available on Blu-ray.
Inconceivable.
to mention another great movie with great quotable lines.
Right.
I don't know if it's toxic, but it's a great movie. Yep.
All right. Brahma Bull. So enough on your scores. It seems I'm sure you've caught out to how these scores work.
Yeah. Yeah, I did want to say we did skip over the part where they're having the tequila shots. I think we sped up through there.
Yeah, I sped up through there. Yep.
But to give everybody a reason to go watch it, go watch that scene and watch her reaction because she does not know she's being filmed during that scene. She takes the tequila shot. He snorts the salt off of his hand
and then throws the
tequila over his shoulder and then starts singing to her. And she realizes that the camera is on right after he starts playing the piano. And you can see on her face that she is pissed. Right. It's funny. But
I was born to love you. But you
no, toxicity, I'd say 8.5. I mean, there's definitely some more toxic out there, but this one's high up there. As far as a movie, this is in top 5 of my most quotable, comedies, along with like Holy Grail, Old School, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. I mean, this one's Ghostbusters, obviously. This one is fantastic. It got me, we had so many laughs over this in high school. I mean, and it was way before us. So this movie is an all-time classic. There are lots of movies from the 80s that were funny. There are lots of movies from the 80s that were raunchy. This is a movie that I'll go back to over and over and over because it was good and funny. Not necessarily so much raunchy, but good and funny and quotable. So, loved it.
Oh, well stated, dude. Seriously, awesome. I'll be a little bit simple to a point so I can give the graciousness of reading off the chat scores, but I'm going to go at 8.6, maybe. Go to 8.7 on the toxicity. The characters are wild. They're mayhemic. They're crazy. They're pushing the lifeguard into the pool. There's duty in the pool. Like that. We got the Vince McMahon of the movie with Ted Knight's character Smales. Like he's just an absolute crazy madman who's trying to keep everything straight. Then you got Dangerfield's Al, and he's the Stone Cold Steve Austin, as I said of this all. He's the one who's making everything mayhemic. He's drinking beer. He's bumping up the music. He's doing everything you should be doing. He's doing it. It's just all. It's not the most toxicity and greatness, but it's just the amount of toxicity that's there is absolutely freaking phenomenal. It's the execution that gives it high up in the upper echelon for me. And the movie has its own merit. I'd say probably 9.3 out of 10 is where I go. For obviously, this is another comedy great, another all-time comedy great, and one that I've continued to laugh. I was laughing my ass off again for the zillionth time over that pool scene. Everything about that's just so ridiculous. From them doing their little dance in the circle to the push of the lifeguard to the duty to the Jaws music, everything about it's just wonderful. Take care, Katina. Thank you. And then I'll read off the scores here. Teasy said all these movies are my air, so I give 10s. Dave Sura, Toxicity 9, Greatness Fun 10, D-Bud, Toxicity 8.5, Greatness 9.7, Soul Assassin 10
I'm with Soul
toxicity.
Assassin on this.
12-10 greatness, and 5 out of 5 Baby Ruths for being hilarious. Well stated. And then Phantom Outsider, Toxic 10, Fun 10, Best Use of Candy Bar from Missa, RC 8 out of 10 toxicity, 8.510 overall. Nice. Like the honesty there. Tiki of Doom, 9.5 pizzas out of 10. Awesome. All right, killer. It looks like I got all the scores. Well, guys, thank you all for heavy metal. Thank you guys all for watching Toxic Tuesday again. I appreciate it. And Rumble, thank you for coming on and joining us. Hopefully you had a good time. This is definitely a fun one. Next week, we're going to be talking another comedy classic. And Mark is probably already cursing my name, but I'm going to make sure he gets some compensation for this one. But we're going to be talking Porky's next week for Toxic Tuesday.
That's a film that we talked about in high school when it happened, because it came out when I was in high school.
So Porky's will be the flick next week.
Is that the G-rated version, though, right? Just like Saturday Night Fever.
There will be 3 clips played very slowly.
Exactly.
I can already hear Mark on his computer Sunday night cursing my name. Fuck, Nick. Damn it!
That's gonna be that one's gonna be excerpted the way Wes Moody does his porn parodies of Star Trek on Tuesday. This is a 37-minute film. I've got 8 minutes.
Oh, Yeti Cass with a 9.5 toxic movie 9 toxicity 7 chunks, and then no way Porky's is the most toxic. Mark, it is. We're gonna make it work. I don't know how, but we're gonna make it work.
I got a clip Mads. I got the clip of Mads' head, and I'll just use that to cover up some naughty bits. But we'll have to.
There you go.
We'll have to do that one ahead of time, and we'll get a double, triple check that we don't end up on double top secret probation.
Yeah,
double secret
that
probation.
Locker room
no,
scene, dude. You got that locker room scene.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Well, you should mark that stream not for kids, just the beginning with.
Right to start. Yes.
At the start. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
No, absolutely will. So yeah, Porky's is the flick next week. It's gonna be fantastic, and this might be the most toxic.
Most of the nudity in Porky's is in that one scene. Even the scene with Lassie.
Her name. Why do they call her Lassie?
Yeah. Because I think she still has her top on in that part.
Kim Cattrall. Her second greatest role.
Yes. So
next to Big Trouble in Little China.
Next to Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay. It better be.
Yep.
All right,
if you say Sex in the City, we're gonna have a talk after this.
Oh no. Oh hell no.
All right, Mark, go ahead and plug in your channel.
Thank you. Yep. Yeah, no, always appreciate being here and getting to hang out with everyone and having a fun time. This makes Tuesday night awesome. So, check out my channel. I do a lot of toy reviews. You can see from my background, 3D printing, and I'm on Thursday night with Clobbering Times and Raquel Briggs. And then Sunday night, I got my get-together show, weekend review show on Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. So, and of course, always here on Tuesday night. So, just appreciate being here and check out my channel. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Mark. And like I said, I will definitely be compensating for this next one because I know that's gonna be a mission and a half. So
I don't want to nuke your channel. Yep.
Yeah. No. Hey, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, and I look forward to having fun next week. Red shirt, whatever it is you want to say.
Well, you can find me in a whole lot of chats, usually with a wrench, and say hi. I'll say hi back. You can also see me here occasionally when Nick is generous enough to invite me to Toxic Tuesday. I love doing this show. It's a lot of fun. On Thursdays, I'm going to start doing a regular show with Wake Down. I'm not sure what he's going to be calling it, but we'll find out on Thursday. Around 10 p.m. Central Time. And on Fridays, I'm a regular on Foulball Productions, the MFR Cocktail Lounge. Thanks, everybody, for being here. It's been a blast.
Awesome. Hey, dude, thanks again for rejoining. And as per usual, I always try to do whatever it takes to make that extra room for you. Lucky tonight worked out a little extra. So Thank you, and we'll be seeing you again soon.
Hopefully.
Gary, talk.
Talk.
So, like, I do this show. It's called Pop Culture Minefield. And we talk about movies. And I work with a black dude. And he talks about movies. And that's pretty much it then. Right. That's right. That's the channel right there. Right there. Pop Culture Minefield on YouTube. The YouTubes. And yeah, I love you too, lovely Sherry. You are awesome. I swear to God, she's the filthiest person I've ever met when it comes to humor. If you're not in a private group with the lovely Sherry, you're missing the best in life. That's all I'm telling you. Parrot Head has nothing.
All I know is if she's into half the stuff that she posts about, God, I'm in love.
Oh yeah. Well, I asked her one time when she put up the pictures of the 3 kinds of girls doing blowjobs. I said, "Well, which ones are you?" And she responded, "I'm 1 and 2." And I'm like, "Oh my God."
Whoop.
She's so fucking awesome.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. But yeah,
Toxic.
and you can catch me hanging out every once in a while with Tom over on Midnight's Edge, or some of the other guys, Fat Steven Seagal, because we're buddies. And of course, here with Nick, I'm glad you've invited me and keep wanting me back. It's very nice of you.
Hey, as long as you want to be on here, man, I think it's safe
Well,
to
I'm
say
so toxic, Nick. I am toxic.
All right, well, you are one of the toxic ones. You have been indoctrinated to the toxic ones. Congratulations.
All right, get to Tom or somebody else, man. Get me off the screen. It's driving me crazy.
And
There's
know
Tom.
him, and you are in love with him, and that's mandatory. Tom.
It's
Tom
okay
fell
because
asleep.
I'm a gentle
Oh,
lover.
You're a gentle.
No, I'm going to do some Mead Radio here. Always love to hang out with these guys. Sorry I overslept and missed the beginning of the show, but
You're good, dude.
yeah.
But you dreamed about it.
Dream.
You heard him, guys. We go on to Mead Radio, so that's where the party's at after. Because I'm gonna be done partying.
The
but
after
Tom,
party.
yeah, that's where the Toxic Tuesday after party is at Mead
Nice.
Radio. So Tom, you enjoy the Mead Radio. I'm gonna persevere through some rest and then surviving Moon Knight, however that may be. I'll have very honest opinions on that soon. So, anyways, thank you, sir. And then the Brahma Bull. Guys, give him a sub. He's great, and he's already blending right in with all of us wee lads.
Trying my hardest. Yeah, I started my channel about 3 weeks ago. Been kind of making the rounds. You see me pop up just kind of anywhere and everywhere right now. Having a great time. Thank you, Nick Weiser, for having me on. This was a fantastic night. And chat, you've been great as always. Panel, nice to meet some of you. Others, good to see you again. And I will be doing my first live stream tomorrow night at 6 Central. And we're going to be discussing. Yeah.
You're no longer a virgin.
I got to learn how to actually broadcast, I guess. But we're going to be discussing just kind of toxic culture in Hollywood and how they've destroyed fantasy series like The Dark Tower, Wheel of Time, and what they're going to do to Lord of the Rings. So hit that up if you get a chance. I could use some chat so that the show actually moves. And thank you all. Have a great night. Cheers.
All right. Cheers to you, sir. And hopefully I'll have you back on here again soon if you ever want to come back on. And guys, you already know this is my channel, so I'm just going to promote Tom's channel here. This party's going to be over here. Come down here for Mead Radio. Well, he'll be the DJ and all that good stuff. That's where the party will be at. Anyways, I've got an Odyssey video coming this week, Odyssey exclusive. I've got a Picture exclusive this week as well. And I've got a YouTube video as well. That'll all be coming out this week. Comic Shop Talk is not happening this week, but it'll be back next week. And of course, I yell at Park Cars, and I appear even on most Tuesdays on Mead with Tom and the boys. So that is it. And of course, next week we'll be doing Porky's for Toxic Tuesday. Once again, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for choosing us. All the familiar faces. Once again, you had many great options, but you chose that. You chose us. I'm tired. Thank you. You all have a good night. All right. Goodbye. Good fight. Go to Mead Radio. And good night.